Jeremiyah Love's ankle looking pretty good, carrying a bunch of pizza pies up the stairs here on the plane, doing rookie duties. I think it's safe to say that his ankle looks pretty good. And those of us not panicking, those of us consuming as much Jeremiyah Love as we can at the discounted top of round 3 ADP after he was on his way climbing to the top of round number 2. So what a massive win and good piece of news right there. And the Tuten train is coming for everybody. You're either on the train today or we will not let you on again. And the first $20 super chat that says, give me the Tuten, Smitty. I'm throwing not only on the Tuten board. In fact, all $20 super chats get on the Tuten board. The Tuten video plays today. The new Jeremiyah Love video plays today. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Look at this video of this man walking up the stairs. There's also good footage of him just doing good footwork today, just working on his ankle. But I think it's safe to say, like, even if something were to go awry and we're potentially looking at like a setback of some kind or just a precautionary measure for week 1, discounted Jeremiyah Love wins leagues. This guy is a next top 5 running back. And so funny how many fickle Freddies came in and said, oh, I love him. He's the next Adrian Peterson. He looks like Bijan Robinson. We've been saying that all offseason. This man's taking you to the promised land. His value will increase, so make sure you're out there buying now. This right here isn't that widespread. It's not like people are really talking about this that much, but you'll be able to take advantage over the next like a day or two, maybe half a week. But do it until it's going to be too late. Try and downgrade a running back into Jeremiyah Love to upgrade a wide receiver. It's one of the best moves in fantasy football, period. Just take a bigger name running back, James Cook, somebody in that level of running back like Barkley or Henry or CMC, into Jeremiyah Love and grab something massive in a wide receiver upgrade. You're downgrading into Jeremiyah Love, a top 5 running back, a guy that will finish, in my opinion, in the 5 to 10 range in 2026 during his rookie season. You're downgrading into Jeremiyah Love to upgrade into a Pickens from a lower wide receiver, upgrade into an AJB from a lower wide receiver. And Landman says, Smitty, I would like to be Tuten baptized, please. If you could go ahead and throw my $20 hauler on screen. Let's go ahead and do it. This is Landman dropping the $20 super chat in the Rumble land. Appreciate you, Landman. You, my friend, are the very first Tuten ambassador of 2026. Here you go. Landman, you were the first Tuten ambassador on screen, young man, and appreciate you. And he says, Tuten and Love, heavily invested, says Landman, heavily invested. Let me first get through a majority of all this kind of news and chatter. We'll go through some things, and then we'll kind of talk about the value of like Tuten and Love. There's not a whole ton of news to go over. I'll definitely review what I can. And in the short period of time that we have here tonight, and then we'll be back at midnight Eastern. I'm not leaving anytime soon, but I just mean we've got a lot to get to here in terms of Tuten and Love. But real quickly, James Conner, a lot of people talking about James Conner and whether he's going to play. And there's some weird chatter about like, do we pick up James Conner? How much value does James Conner have? There's not value there. Don't even worry about James Conner. The fact that people are even talking about other running backs because of the release of Benson's wild to me. That shows you how much they're not concerned about Jeremiyah Love. Patrick Mahomes' knee will not play in this preseason game against the Seahawks. Not a surprise there. I do believe he ultimately plays week 1. We also have Kenneth Walker news. Whoever's dialing right now, I'm about to block your number. We're not opening phone lines yet. Obviously, we're in the middle of a news segment here, pal. So keep dialing, and you'll be banned for life. Kenneth Walker had some swelling, but will be fine. Should be fine. No one's concerned about Walker's Week 1 availability quite yet. Josh Downs dealing with a very minor calf injury. Luther Burden groin returned to some short and light duty during Wednesday's practice. And then we had just a little bit of news on Penix Jr. and the fact that he may not play in the final preseason game against the Dolphins. We do think Penix Jr. has a real shot at potentially being the starter in Week 1. We'll see how that works. Stefanski and that coaching staff, I worry about their decision making. We saw Stefanski botch the Shedeur Sanders situation over and over and over in Cleveland last year. That is a disaster. This one here from 420 Man, he says, all aboard the Tuten train. And on that note, I'm going to put both you bad boys on the Jeremiyah Love video as well right now, right here. Appreciate both of you gentlemen. Here's the Jeremiyah Love followed by the Tuten video.
You're listening to AZ4 Radio. This one's number 4 on the charts. It's called Love, AZ4 Radio.
Love Shack! Baby Love Shack! Once, twice, 3 times a cardinal.
Hammer dropping the $50 super chat, wanting on both those videos as well. Thank you for dropping that $50 wad, young man.
Give me $50, holla.
We will not be allowing a single person on the Tuten train after tonight. So you have literally about, I don't know, hour and a half, depending on how long we are live to get on board. Love and Tuten become quite an awesome pair if you're trying to potentially get into. And if we have any more news, I'll drop it as we see it and as it comes in. I don't think I had anything else that I wanted to go over really. Jaden Daniels, Jacobs. We do have something we're going to start probably with the lead tonight. Will be the Jacobs, the expected suspension that the Green Bay Packers are preparing for. They're expecting a suspension for Josh Jacobs, which means that Lloyd's going to be a potential pretty decent Week 1 savior for people that might have, let's say if Genty were to sit or something, Lloyd's going to be there. Obviously Mike Washington, but I think Genty probably has more of a chance to play Week 1 than not, but he is still not out of the woods yet. But Jacobs and Puka Nacua still awaiting suspensions potentially, and because those could come down today, even while we're live, maybe not. I've been waiting to do that video. We'll do that tonight. That'll be the lead of tonight's show. What are we expecting in terms of those two? So we'll get to those pieces of news if they come in. But let's go ahead and talk about the amazing value of Jeremiyah Love that's sitting at the top of 3 right now, which will not be there for very long. So you have to make sure you're taking full advantage. Let's throw Garrett Wilson into this spot right here. These are 2, and then where's Bhayshul, the facial? Facial is going in that number 5 round territory, which is just a glorious spot to be drafted for the young man who could be a top 8 to 12 running back. You heard me. I'm not saying top 10. I'm saying top 8 to 12. That's what Bhayshul Tuten brings to the table. You get 2 RBs like this. You could, even if you get lucky and you play in one of those grandma leagues or those mortuary leagues where they're not even alive, they're people without pulses in your league, you can get Josh Allen sometimes in 4. But that's crazy to think about, I'm sure, for a lot of you, because you see quarterbacks go like in round 2. So everybody's league is going to be different. So while we'll mention you could get Allen here sometimes, because some people can't, we're going to leave him out of this equation. But if we come out with a potential running back wide receiver Jeremiyah Love combination, you're typically drafting from 1, 2, or 3 overall. You can still get Love at the top of round 3 from 3.1 to 3.2 to 3.3, sometimes even 3.5. I don't think that will last more than a 12 to maybe 5-day period of being able to draft Love in the third round. I think once people are reminded that he's, he's there. They even said, oh, this is the next Adrian Peterson. Everybody jumping on the train after watching that preseason game where he got 14 touches off the back of somebody going on Pat McAfee and saying, oh, this is a feature back, but not an every down back, after he got 14 touches in a preseason game. 14 touches. And we got people actually talking like he might not be an every down back, which is just asinine to me. But Gibbs and a wide receiver, or we'll do the Jamar Chase version. But Gibbs and a wide receiver, that wide receiver being my favorite wide receiver to fall into the bottom of round 2. AJB does not always fall. So if you do get this Gibbs pick and you can couple it with Pickens down here at the bottom of 2, get Jeremiah Love, go wide receiver here, get your running back 2 right here in Bhayshul Tuten. This is unbelievable. Now, Tuten does sometimes climb. This is the top of 5 though, so you can definitely get this on more than rare occasion. But sometimes you have to take him early in 4, and it sucks, but it is what it is. But he's going at the either bottom of 4 here or top of 5. Garrett Wilson doesn't always fall to the bottom of 4, so you can swap that out for another name. Devontae Adams is even a guy that's climbing massively on my board. So let's see, you were to go Bhayshul to Bhayshul Tuten right there, and you go, almost put Pickens there. You put Devontae Adams in round 5. Who's not winning a league with this team? Who's not winning a league with this team right here? Where you're getting Gibbs, Pickens, Love, Tuten, Adams later. Adams sometimes goes in 5, sometimes he goes in 4. Just kind of depends. Again, Tuten sometimes you can easily get him in 5.1 territory, but sometimes he falls into mid 5. But the key component here to blasting your league mates is the fact that you're getting these 2 gentlemen. So if you don't like, you don't quite have this number 1 pick, let's say you have the number 2 or 3, and let's go as far as to say the 3 picks. You're getting Chase at 1.3, you're getting Love at 3.3. You're not able to get, well, you could get Pickens even easier at that point, but let's say you were able to get maybe even AJB. Let's throw AJB into this mix. You may or may not get him this deep into the second round, but it's certainly possible. This is also a league-winning move. And you're getting your running back 1 in the third round. You're getting your running back 2 in round 5, which, again, you may have to grab him here, let's say. And then you get Devontae Adams or whoever there. This is a league-winning team as well. These are 2 recipes to crush your league mates. Nobody can stand a chance against this type of build. Nobody stands a chance against Jeremiah Love at third-round value when he can produce top 5 to 10 running back numbers. No one stands a chance, especially if Bhayshul Tuten's sitting there in 5, and you're able to grab this kid to lambast your league mates on a weekly basis from 5th round value. This is a top 8 to 12 running back. This is a man that walks out of the preseason, or walks out of camp in the earlier part of the preseason, telling you that the volume that he is getting is volume that will allow him to get you, and this is his prediction, not mine, although I love the prediction, I must say, but Tuten's telling you, I'm going to rush for 1,500 yards. I'm going to score 16 touchdowns. That is his goal for 2026. And I don't know about you, but Bill from accounting, who's stamping TPS reports over and over and over, if you walked up to Bill and said, Bill, how many TPS reports are you going to stamp today or this year? And he says, well, based on my schedule that I know that I've looked at on the board over there, I'll be able to stamp 1,516 touchdowns, whatever the case may be. That's what you're talking about Bill saying. Why does Bill say that? Because Bill knows his schedule. Bill's on the schedule for overtime. He's working not only 40 hours, but he's got the schedule right in front of him on the board that says he's working 55 hours a week. He's got plenty of time to stamp TPS reports. Do you think Bhayshul Tuten would walk to a reporter, to a podium, and speak to reporters and say, I'm gonna rush for 1,500 yards and score 16 touchdowns, if he didn't know the schedule, if he didn't know how much workload he was getting? If this man was scheduled for 1 or 2 hours a week, Would he be telling you he's TPS reporting all day long? No. He'd say, you know what, I don't know if I'll get time to stamp 1,500 TPS reports. Why would this man open his mouth about 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns if he wasn't in on his volume and what the hell he's going to be handed in 2026? Think about that for a second. Just think about that. Everyone acting like he's not going to get the volume. He's going to be in a 50-50. Of course he's in a timeshare. So was ETN. ETN was a 61% owner of the running back volume last year and was a top 10 running back. Do you think this man probably has a little bit of a lead on you or me as to how much volume he's expecting? I think for him to make the predictions he made accounts for all of that. And if you're not on the Tuten train, I feel bad for you, genuinely. It's unbelievable. Honestly, it's unbelievable the discount you're getting on this kid. Here's a super chat from Brave. Brave says, Smitty, my slow draft so far. Cook, A.J. Brown, Josh Allen, Love. How you get Love in the 4th round is, I'm jealous. We're all jealous of it. People say, you can't get Love in the 3rd round, Smitty. He's going in the 2nd. No. Maybe in your league, Steve, the whole world doesn't revolve around your league. I get to test the temperature of this thing on a daily basis. Nobody knows the movement or values, the ADP likelihoods of change than I do because of all of the people that show me their teams and talk about it and call in. We test the temperature better than anybody. And I'm telling you, I see more of this Josh Allen Love as a 3rd round and 4th round pick than I see of other things that people tell me about. Oh, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. I'm seeing Love fall to 4. I'm seeing Love fall to at least mid-3rd. Love will win you a league in the middle of 2. What do you think Love is going to do for you in the middle of 3 or in the top of 4? So, Brave, you might as well just ask everyone for the money up front and say, give me half. Everybody give me half. Cut me a check right now for half, or Venmo me, Pony Express, whatever, and we'll redraft. Otherwise, you guys are just wasting the whole season. Why not just restart? If you're getting Love in round 4, there's no sense in playing it out. And you send them to me and I'll tell them. I'll look at the rosters and say, there's no chance against this guy's team. Just pay them half now, restart, enter new teams in entry fees and start over. Bootin' Scootin', Bhayshul Tuten, the train has left the station. Choo choo. Thank you, Sick Chuck Nasty.
$50. Give me $50, holla. I get by the brother, Smitty. Give me 50.
Thank you very much, Chuck Nasty, for joining the train today. Got you on the board here as a Tuten sponsor of the week. Which start do you like better, JSN running back or HN wide receiver? Love both of them. It depends on the running back. If it's, honestly, I'll be okay with JSN Love, but you don't have to pay 2nd round value. So if you go JSN Bowers Love, then that's unbelievable, or something along those lines. But HN Pickens or HN AJB and then getting Love, that's just as good. It really just comes down to, will you for sure get Love in the JSN build in the round 3 territory? If so, then it is equal to HN wide receiver like Pickens or AJB, and then the shot at Love without the necessity of Love falling. So the HN move is safer because of that. But if Love fell, then the teams would be equal in power. Does that kind of jive? Just traded Love for AJ Brown and Tuten. I love all 3 of these players, so you're not going to get me like smashing the you got them button on any side, but I will say AJ Brown, and this is redraft, AJ Brown and Tuten have more redraft value than Love. If it's Dynasty, it's not a good move because Love is a top 5 overall player. So in redraft, I would Smitty approve it. In Dynasty, I would not. So good job on that, but I still love both sides of that. I mean, Love is a monster. So nice trade on that. I got Love at 4.2. You see what I'm saying? It's just nonstop craziness, my boys. Nonstop craziness. Superflex number 1.2 pick, Drake May or Gibbs. I think if you believe, this is what my answer is. The answer is Drake May. But if you can convince me that you're going to be able to get Mahomes or Bo Nix in round 2, or even maybe Herbert, I think I can get behind going Gibbs in one of those quarterbacks. But you have to be the one that makes that decision. But if you don't grab one of those quarterbacks, you're talking like Baker or somebody like that in the second. That is not Smitty approved. But if you can convince me that you'll get that, I'm on board with the Gibbs. Was up with the Redskins beat reporters say the O-line has cohesiveness, peanut butter and tuna fish. JD5 becoming a fade? No, E-Rock. No. You got a lot going on right now that is going to change. We're talking about preseason and JD5's quick release with the design of the offense and getting the football out quickly, and the fact that I think Okonkwo is going to the moon. You got Diggs, you got McLaurin, you got a lot of weapons. We're hoping Bill takes a big step if there's an opportunity for Bill, which currently there is due to injury with Rachaad White hurt or banged up, you could say, then there's a real exciting component I think the running attack can bring to the table, because White's going to be efficient and decent, but we want Bill to get in there for the explosiveness. But no, this is, I mean, bro, you got to stop listening to preseason chatter on some of these negative things. Should I offer ETN and Loveland for Bowers and Dynasty? There's pros and cons to that, my guy. And the reason I say that is because, like, Bowers is his knee taped up right now. And there's a lot of, like, rumors right now, like, oh, is his knee still bothering him? And are we going to find out about that there's truth to that later and be pissed off that they just weren't truthful with us and we're making decisions? I'm not saying fade Bowers at all. I'm just merely saying you've got two pieces you have on the Loveland ETN side. So if one of them fails, if ETN gets hurt or if Loveland busts or gets hurt or something, you still have the other one to fend against Bowers. So the ETN Loveland side is probably safer. It's not tight end premium. Do I like Bowers more? I do, but it is more dangerous. And if Bowers were to get hurt, you're done. So you just have to kind of weigh that out based on the way your team feels. And you have Walker, ETN, Scat, Hendy, Tuten. You've got good enough running backs that I think you might be okay with Scat, Hendy, and Tuten to not really make the move. But I don't hate it on either side. If you feel really, really, really good about what this could maybe get you in a trade later, if you wanted, I don't mind Loveland. The Bowers to Loveland downgrade to get ETN is not bad. Chat, vote on that one if you can. That one's a tough one because I really like ETN. So, you know, and Loveland's not that far off from Bowers. He's definitely below him for sure, but he's not that far off. Like, it's kind of a intriguing move, but I don't know that your running back room necessarily needs it because we believe in Hendy, we believe in Tuten, we believe in Walker. So you got such an arsenal of weaponry. You might be sitting like a ETN on the bench sometimes, or coming in here and saying, hey, Smitty, who do I start? And then you're like, who you start? You just traded for this guy, but you have such good running back depth. Next two picks are wide receiver 5 and 4. Tyson, QJ, Golden, Dobbs. Should I reach for Cyrus? I definitely would reach for him, but where, I need to know who's on the board and all that. But I mean, yeah, I certainly would reach for him. I like Tyson a lot. I think he misses, so much time that it's hard to pick him. But you're also talking about picks right here that don't feel like they're that crazy of difference makers. I do like Keaton Mitchell. I do love Coleman. But I mean, as far as these receivers, I would probably say Tyson's pretty intriguing here. But I do believe Cyrus will be the best one here of the group outside of when Tyson comes back. And then, honestly, Cyrus the Virus could be better than him. He might not be. I would say Coleman's your best bet here while we're awaiting Keaton Mitchell news on his potential injury, which may or may not be that big of a deal. You have Kenneth Walker, then Emma Johnson might be a tad bit more important to than Coleman, but Coleman's better. So standalone, I want Coleman, but if you've got, I would use the ADP to try and get both of them, David. whichever one you think can get pushed further, but don't push your luck with Emmett Johnson if you have to take him ahead. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Neighbors and Tuten for Walker and Adams. In redraft, I would rather have Neighbors and Tuten by a hair, but that's really, really close. Really close. Mahomes, Achane, Judkins, Pickens, Neighbors, Laporta, Dobbins, Carnell, Tate at flex. What moves do you need to make? I'm trading Judkins, and I'm trading probably Tate, Dobbins, and Judkins all together, two of them together, to get one slightly better player. And so just kind of work your way up, like the Breece Halls, the potential, like Tate and Judkins for, I would go higher than that if possible and see what you can get. You're obviously trying for a Pickens, you're trying for a Neighbors, you're trying for a Jeremiah Love, you're trying to get one of those big monsters to go into that lineup. Those caliber players, if I mentioned somebody you already have, you know what I'm saying, like that value. 12-team league, I pick 12. Achane should be there. Do I take Lamb over Pickens or AJB and fade Lamb? I don't fade Lamb. I don't ever word it like that, but I would definitely say right now I like AJB and Pickens probably. I'm sorry, I'm AJB and Achane. But that's really, really close. I don't think, one is bad or wrong. Like I'm rotating that on a pretty heavy rotation, like equal rotation almost. Throw me on the Tuten train. Let's do it live. Appreciate you, Blitzen, dropping the super chat, young man. Consider it done. And let me also grab this one here as well. Throw you both on the Tuten train right now. And then we got Mark says, throw me on the Tuten train as well. 3 $20 haulers in a row to get onto the Tuten train. That is what I'm talking about. Let's giddy up. Thank you, 3, for getting on the train. I know you've been on the train the entire time, so thank you for buying your ticket on the train. Great show. I've got the 1.6 in my home league. If I take a wide receiver in round one, what running back at 2.6? I want Achane if he's there. On underdog, he falls at 2.5. On sleeper, he goes like at 12. So that would be my number one choice, obviously. I think Hampton and Walker are pretty close. Hampton's healthy. Walker's not right now, but I still think it's very, very even. Hampton might get the edge right now today. I think Chase Brown is probably the safest. And then if not, then I'm looking at Love in that third round pick. Or you could go early on Love, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I would try and take advantage of the third round value. Throw me on the Tuten train before the road agents try and hit it. Thank you. I appreciate you, my boy Blitzen, for dropping that $20 super chat. Definitely consider any one of those running backs. And if you look at the ADP board, I can just show you that it's going to be different on different platforms. Again, Achane's going to be right here. Genty's been falling here too. So Achane, Genty in that order. I still draft Genty that high. Hampton and Walker with Hampton slight edge, and then Chase Brown would be next. And if you get to this point and they're all gone, it's tough. You almost have to try and punt to get Love, and Love's been falling to the fourth round in a lot of cases. Can't guarantee he'll be there in the third round, but it is such an easy click if he's there sitting there. Yo, Smitty, rate my 10-team league. Josh Allen, Bijan Brooks, AJB, Neighbors, McBride. Bench is Harvey, MHJ, Debo, Stribling, Mahomes. Any moves, thank you. I love the team. Allen and Bijan and Brooks are fantastic. AJB and Neighbors are unreal. McBride's unbelievable. Harvey, I love. I'm maybe trying to trade like MHJ and Stribling or something like that. Brooks, if you could sell him high enough, but I don't even want to sell him unless you can sell him high. Brooks and MHJ, Brooks and Stribling, something like that to just go up a little bit, like the Breece Hall level, somewhere around that territory. I love Tuten. I'd rather have Bhayshul Tuten to go with my Bijan if I could trade Brooks and one of those wide receivers. But everything else I don't want to move, and you're probably going to have to wait until after week 1 when Brooks gains a little bit more value, or until he does, even if it took till week 3 or 4. MHJ is going to gain a little more value, I think, as well. Stribling will gain more value. You're kind of held in check because I don't want you to move any of those players. The only thing I consider were like, can you trade like a Bijan, down to JT or HN and get something that's so massive, it's like ridiculous to say no to. But the problem with that is it doesn't appear that you have a flex option that you could even squeeze anybody into because you're listing all this as your bench. So you wouldn't even be a good candidate for something like that. I would say you're holding strong, bro. And, do I want to trade Bijan up to Gibbs using like an MHJ? Yeah, I do. I mean, Gibbs is my number 1 overall player. I guess trading up might be the only potential thing that you could maybe look to do. So try that. Try and give up something on the bench. Stribbling MHJ to get Bijan into Gibbs. Might not be that hard. On Underdog Best Ball, got Cook, HN, Rice, and Love at 56. Right? How is Love going that far right now? It's insane, bro. It's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Kept JSN for a third. Who would you target with the first 2 picks? Obviously, I'm targeting one of those running backs we just went over on the board. So Genty down, obviously HN down to Chase Brown, Walker, Hampton. And then you get past that, you're trying to get Love in the 3rd round. And then you're maybe looking at a Pickens or AJB instead in round 2. That's probably how I'd attack that pretty much every time. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. This one here and this one here from Jesse. Jesse, appreciate your $20 super chat. I'll put you on the board, my boy. John says, any moves, rate my team, love the content. The content loves you back. Burrow, Hampton, Tuten, JSN, Pickens, Ladd, Dowdle, Harvey, love Harvey. You can't really sell much of this except for, let's say you were to keep JSN, keep Pickens, keep Burrow, keep Hampton, keep Tuten. So you don't like Ladd and Dowdle, Ladd and Harvey and Dowdle. I mean, but the problem is who's paying for Ladd right now at the price he deserves? Probably no one. Who's paying for Dowdle yet? So you're probably a wait and see team too. Corum, I would trade Corum and Ladd. So try that. Try and trade Corum and Ladd to go up in a running back or wide receiver spot. And then you have, that flex upgraded. But you're upgrading Ladd using those pieces, not touching anything else. I don't want you to trade a single thing. Love that team. That's a totally Smitty built team. Jesse with a $20 super chat. Jesse, thank you very much.
Super chat alert.
Jesse says the following: rate my 12-man team redraft from the 1.6 starters. T-Law, Hampton, Tuten, Puka, Olave, Loveland, Parker, Washington, Ramondre, Bench, Brooks, Harvey, Keaton, Mitchell, Monangai. Love the team, my boy. And I'm going to screenshot you so I can throw you on the board as well. So, Jesse, appreciate you. Thank you very much for the super chat, young man. And then this team, I probably am looking to. Oh, is this the one? No, this looks similar to the other one. Puka, Olave. I love Olave, but I'm he got the wind knocked out of him yesterday, and everyone thought he got hurt or got concussed again. He didn't. He just got the wind knocked out of him, we think. But that's what they're telling us. But it's a reminder of like, oh my God. So are you trying to trade like Brooks or Harvey on the high right now or on the current value that they have, knowing that they're going to grow in value with Parker Washington or Olave? Like Parker Washington and Olave can get you what? Can he get you a Pickens? Can he get you a Neighbors? Does somebody need 2 wide receivers? Go see if the Pickens or Neighbors or London or any of those receivers in that territory, see if they need more wide receivers. If they maybe went running back heavy and they've got just the 1 wide receiver, you offer Parker and Olave for the 1 wide receiver upgrade. Or you're offering Olave and Brooks or Olave and Harvey, who I don't want to trade, but if I'm upgrading, I'm okay with it. So if you're going high into that Pickens territory or Neighbors territory using Olave and Harvey, go to the Coleman owner. And if they won't take Harvey, you could always try and trade, let's say I don't know. There's not much you can do right now because I don't want you trading like Washington or Olave to get Coleman per se. But if there was like some sort of wide receiver swap that made sense, like Olave and Parker Washington for a slightly better wide receiver and you get Coleman thrown in, that would also be something I'd entertain. But not trading Hampton, not trading Tuten. I like T-Law. I could upgrade T-Law using maybe even Parker Washington, Harvey, or Brooks if it was a massive upgrade to like Josh Allen territories. Other than that, I'm liking everything you have, but maybe, and I love Olave, I do, and I love Parker Washington, but I'm just looking to upgrade if I can, and if not, I'm standing down and letting Harvey and Brooks and the boys gain some value so that either they crack my lineup or I'm able to couple 2 together to get 1 stud that's in buy low territory coming out of week 1. There'll always be 4, 5, 6, 7 monsters that are super buy low for like 6 straight weeks into the season. Traded Golden and a late 27 first rounder for BTJ. I mean, I like it and I don't. I mean, we got to be honest in saying we don't know what's in store for BTJ. So it's not a horrible move, but it's also not like a home run to where we're hitting the button and screaming and yelling and saying you made the best move ever on planet Earth. Hard to really say what's gonna be in store for our boy. Hopefully it's gonna be goodness though. We got a super chat by Simi Valley over on the Rumble machine. Let me screenshot that and put that on screen here in a second. Thank you, Simi, for the super chat. Appreciate you. All right, let me swing over here and try and read this one real quickly. Caleb, Williams, Scat, Genty, Tuten, Jonah Coleman, Puka, Neighbors, Watson, Diggs. Should I drop Coleman for Rodriguez? If you like losing, Don, I would drop Coleman for Rodriguez. If you like winning, don't drop a potential stud running back like Coleman for a guy that I don't even know why people are really even interested in Rodriguez at the level they are. I don't mind cuffing Rodriguez, but I have zero interest in releasing a league-winning Coleman who we've continuously talked. Like, do you see Rodriguez anywhere here? Do you see any Rodriguez anywhere on any of the boards anywhere? Do you see Jonah Coleman on, a list like this, where we're literally saying Coleman and Harvey win leagues, and you want to drop them for a guy that I never talk about? So the answer is no. I'm glad you're asking, Donald. I'm not mad at you. This is just me being passionate about the answer. So the answer is absolutely no. Trade Cam. Yeah. I mean, I'd try and trade Cam, Scatterbo, and Watson for one running back upgrade. That's what I would try and do. That would be my total goal with that team, is to do that, because I love Cam Scatterbo, but I don't trust him. Dak, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Waddle. Love this team for the most part. I'm trading Waddle and maybe, Jalen Warren and Waddle for a slight upgrade. That could be good. M. Wash, you don't have Genty, so maybe you go to that owner and see what you can exploit there in terms of upgrading Jalen Warren, or potentially, like even a Debo or a Tyson or a Wandell. But Neighbors and Waddle is solid. Dak, Amon-Ra. You could even upgrade Amon-Ra slightly if that Genty owner has Genty in. But odds are having Genty, having Genty, they probably took him in a place where they don't own a player better than Amon-Ra. So you probably won't be able to do that with them. But maybe you're able to move Waddle and Jalen Warren for one slightly better running back. That would probably be my focus if I was you. This one here from Parker. Parker says 14-man. Burrow, Chase, Nico, Ladd, Hendy, Rico, Harvey, likely down Sadiq, Cyrus. Any moves? Probably say in a 14-man league, it's a really good team. I'm looking to, as I mentioned with the other owner in Super Chat, Ladd and Rico, Ladd and maybe Harvey, and I love Harvey, but you're trying to get Coleman potentially, because I don't see Coleman. I don't know if you just didn't list him or if you missed on him, but you could potentially see if the Coleman owner wants Harvey, but you're only getting rid of Harvey if you're upgrading Ladd massively. If not, you're waiting for Harvey to cement in value that I think some people can see the vision of it, some people don't. Ladd and Rico could later get you something, but you might have to wait on both those guys. I don't think there's a lot to do here with your team, because again, some of you are drafting the guys that I love and guys that are on the sleeper boards and bold predictions, but they're not quite cemented into their value yet. So if you're making some moves like this, team moving would just be taking a bath on the value until it cements in, because you'd have to sell lower, than what you want. No one's buying Hendy where we believe Hendy can finish. No one's buying Ladd where we believe Ladd could be. Nico's undervalued. So none of this is probably sellable except for Burrow and Chase, and I don't want you to trade them. So unless you could trade Chase down to Pickens and upgrade like Rico or Harvey into a Love or something, you could explore something like that. But trading Chase is kind of a tough, risky business. You got to really land it, bro, or you're going to destroy your team. So be very careful. If you do entertain any downgrading Chase into Pickens or into St. Brown or into somebody like that to upgrade a running back massively, please bring it to us, because that's a very delicate surgical procedure. Dak, Amon-Ra, Neighbors, Waddle, Wandell. I just read this one, right? Yeah, I did. And then this one here is a $20 super chat from Miami. Miami, appreciate you dropping the wattage, my boy. Thank you very much. I'll put you on the boards here in a second. Hey, Smitty, you're the man. Can I put in the Tuten train video. Absolutely. Also, I'm on the clock. I have the next 2 picks, and I'm taking Hendy as my running back 3, but debating drafting Evans, Watson, or Dunze as your 4. Evans has probably the most upside, but the most risk right now. But he is pretty much, they have a plan in place to get him back to practicing next week on Monday. And that's always kind of been the plan. So I don't know that I'd be afraid of Evans like other people are, thinking that he's sitting there struggling with his injury. They're just resting him just like they did McCaffrey. They've got a plan for a lot of these older players just to make sure. Dunze feels pretty safe. Watson feels pretty safe. Evans feels risky because he's older, but probably more upside. I think I would probably go with Evans and then try and cuff him to Stribling, but that's me. I'm a little bit more risk averse when it comes to that type of level of move. So I would probably say I would go ahead in that direction. We got a super chat from Young. Young, appreciate you. He says, toot, toot. We'll put you on the board as well. Let me throw you both on right now. And let me throw everyone here on the love one as well, because you all deserve it. Like I said, any $20 super chat today gets on both of the boards.
You're listening to AZ4 Radio. This one's number 4 on the charts. It's called Love, AZ4 Radio. Shack, baby, love shack.
Once, twice, 3 times a cardinal.
Hey, are you currently sitting at home and wondering, why am I such a loser? Why do I not know how to get chicks? Well, there is a solution. Draft Ashton Genty in your upcoming fantasy football drafts, and you'll immediately start growing hair on your chest. Those little testicles of yours will finally drop, and even though you still live in your mom's basement, you're going to immediately start getting hot chicks, all because you drafted Ashton Genty. Now, do you want to be this guy? Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick. Or this guy. Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting chicks. Alright, put down the Hot Pocket Petrified Pita and start smashing Genty ADP, and watch less Thundercats reruns and more of the Fantasy Football Show with Smitty, you bozo.
Hoping for good news for Genty, and probably will see good news for Genty, but either way, even if he was to sit, let's say, a week, he's going to be a monster, and anybody getting him in the second round is getting absolutely amazing value. Got a home league keeper draft coming up, says Simi Valley. Need to declare before the draft order. 12-man, 1 QB league with 4 flex spots. May in the 13th, or Burden Parker Washington in the last round. That's such a good value. If you're carrying it over from year to year to year, then it makes sense to go Drake May, I guess, 13. But, I mean, Parker Washington, fantastic value. Burden, fantastic value at the end of the draft. I'd probably lean toward, if you think Drake May falls to like round 6 or something like that, then I probably would lean toward letting Drake May go, drafting him back, and taking Burden or Parker Washington. I think I'd probably... Chat, what do you think here? Vote here on what you would do. Would you take Drake May round 13 as a keeper? I assume this is a long-term keeper. If it's 1 or 2 years, then I'm probably not taking Drake May. But if it's long-term keeper value, it, you know, especially if it goes down every 2 years, it becomes even less appealing. But I probably, let's see what everybody says on this one. But vote on this one. Would you rather have Burden in the last round, or Parker Washington in the last round, or Drake May round 13? Vote on it, please. Let's see what the chat says. While everybody's voting on that one, it's such a tough call. I'm going to throw Parkman's super chat on screen as well. We're getting another cold or something here in Casa de Smitty. Everybody in the house, including myself, feeling a little bit groggy today. So you'll have to apologize. You'll have to apologize. I'll have to apologize if my brain's not connecting the dots when I'm trying to speak out what I'm trying to say sometimes, because I'm completely out of it and on some Dayquil. Redraft standard keeper pool, non-super flex, 1 QB, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Out of May, Burrow, Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Buka, Tet, AJB, Warren, Loveland, 6 keepers. Which 6 would you pick? This is super flex, so May and Burrow are locks, and you're crushing everyone. You say super flex 1 QB, but non-super flex. Oh damn, I just saw the non. I'm sorry. Non-super flex. Okay. So probably going to be May. I might keep both QBs. Let's see. Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown, Buka, AJB. Jeez, man. The problem is you got 2 amazing quarterbacks. You get 2 amazing tight ends. You can maybe trade them. I'd say Loveland, AJB, Buka, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Tet McMillan. You could even throw both quarterbacks back, draft one back, and keep Warren and trade one of Warren or Loveland. Or is that already 6? Walker, Chase Brown, Buka, AJB, Loveland, and Tet. I think that's probably who you keep. You throw the quarterbacks back, throw Tyler Warren back. Unfortunately, the ADP, I like Tyler Warren, but the ADP for Loveland's a lot better. I'd probably say that would be my final answer. And what was everybody voting here? We got a lot of May votes, bro. A lot of May votes. May it is. I agree. Drake May.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's my final answer there for Park. Simi, appreciate you. I'm going to say Drake May, final answer as well. I do like the receiver values, but you'll be able to get Parker Washington again, in a 5th, 6th round equivalent territory. So that's probably my final answer there. I'm going to waver a little bit on it. If you ask me tomorrow, I'll still probably hesitate a little bit. It's that close. But Drake May's so good, bro. 12.5, especially if Drake May's going to go earlier in your league. If he's going on underdog round 6, it's really easy to be kick him back, But if it's not underdog round 6 value, if it's more 4, then it's different. 12.5 starters are 2 QB, Dak Dart, Jacobs, Kyron Williams, wide receiver Adams, AJB, Flowers, Ladd, Christian Watson, bench Casey Concepcion. Do I trade for a running back? I mean, 2 QB, your QBs are pretty good. I would be tempted to downgrade Dart, and because I don't trust him. I love him, but I don't trust him. Go get a Malik Willis, Baker, Bo Nix if you can downgrade, and then upgrade Jacobs. I can't stand Jacobs, bro. It's a horrible running back 1, just an awful running back 1. Kyron's your running back 1. Even though Kyron can go later than Jacobs sometimes, it depends on who you took. But Kyron's your 1. At least move that. So I'm not looking at Jacobs being your running back 1. It's like looking at a dirty house you're trying to sell. You didn't clean up. You didn't pick the weeds out of the yard. It's just a filthy, filthy looking property, and you're trying to sell it when it's a really nice property underneath the massive mess that you left. Putting Jacobs as your running back 1 and sending in a message like this just devalues the whole team. The problem you're going to have is trading them. And put AJB above Adams. Like, let's clean up before we submit this thing, my boy Brandon. You're like, let's show the house, Margaret. Oh, I haven't cleaned up anything. That's okay. There's wet towels all over the floor and weeds in the yard. Let's show it. Brandon. Flowers and Jacobs for one stud. That's my focus, my boy. And I like Kyron, but am I trying to move Kyron and Watson for one additional player as well? I think I'd feel more comfortable. But downgrade Dart to maybe upgrade Jacobs. Downgrade Dart to upgrade maybe Watson or Flowers. I like those moves. Those are all really, really decent avenues for you to explore for that. There's a lot of flexibility there. My boy, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat too. And don't worry. You'll figure it out. You got a lot of movability there. I have the Stribling Debo stack on my bench. Someone dropped BTJ. Should I drop Debo and go get him? Can you drop your kicker, bro? Like, my answer is yes, but at the end of the day, I want you to keep Debo too. Drop your kicker or defense. Figure it out. You also have Goddard or Conquo. I'd probably drop Goddard and keep a Conquo, or drop a Conquo and keep Goddard and have one tight end and have the receivers probably. I don't know. Chat, vote on that one. Who do you drop to pick up BTJ? Not Debo. He's got Stribling and Debo. He's probably going to need that. I'm sure he drafted it to use it as a 3-4 wide receiver or whatever. I probably lean on a Conquo personally. Goddard's really nice though. With AJB out, he's going to get some touchdowns. But man, Hurts looks like trash. He looks like trash again in the joint practice. He looked awful. He's throwing picks left and right. I would probably say a Conquo for me. That's my final answer, but let's see what the chat says. Just because I want to make sure we're really thinking this one out in terms of, like, Debo's probably going to do really well, but then he'll drop off like mid-season. Stribling will kind of, you won't even maybe be contemplating starting Debo. He could last all year, but I think he'll be good for a while. Call Your Boy Loud says, what's your favorite rounds 1 through 4 starts from the 8 pick in a 12-man league? I hear it's possible JSN falls to me. Yeah. But St. Brown, JT, CD, etc. will surely be there at 8. Appreciate you. Shout out to the replay crew. Thank you, Call Your Boy Loud. He's always here for the replays. Let's hit that Jeremiah love and throw him on there.
You're listening to AZ4 Radio. This one's number 4 on the charts. It's called Love, AZ4 Radio.
Thank you very much, Call Your Boy. 8 spot. It's a great potential spot. I hate 10, hate 11, hate 12. Kind of don't love 9 as much, but it starts to get better when you're at 7 or 8 for sure. And this spot can be really rewarding to you. It could be really, really devastating. Like you said, if JSN were to fall, you'd be hitting a home run. I think JT's next best for sure. JSN, then JT. And then honestly, for me, it depends on where Achan is coming in at on your ADP. An underdog Achan's here, which is ridiculous. On Sleeper or ESPN, he's about right here. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know what to do, I take Achan. But if JT or JSN are there, I'm probably doing that. Then when you get down to this territory, if you've gone JSN, then you're going to probably try and land one of these Brown, Walker, Achan running backs. If you don't get one, then you're trying to grab Love. Problem is, Love might not make it to this 3rd round pick. He may or may not. So you are probably better off going Achan and probably either Pickens or AJB, which you're almost surely going to get one of them. And then if Love falls, he falls. If he doesn't, he doesn't. You could go Josh Allen here. You could go Garrett Wilson. You could go Garrett Wilson here, down here. You could go ETN and Garrett Wilson. The best bet is to go with the Achan or JT would probably be my best advice from you for that spot, and then go wide receiver because the wide receiver will fall. Thank you, Call Your Boy. Appreciate you. Thoughts on Coker, drop him and pick up Stribling? My answer is yes in a vacuum, but my answer is also, can you drop your kicker and hold both of them for as long as possible? Because I really like Jalen Coker. But yes, I'd rather have Stribling. Trippy says, I have Goddard and Fannin but was wondering about switching out Goddard for Okonkwo. Oh, got you. I'd rather have Okonkwo by a hair, just because of how bad Jalen Hurts looks, and Goddard has a little injury risk, and I think Okonkwo is untapped, and he's about to explode and be a top 5 to 7, top 5 to 8 tight end. But that isn't a lock, so Goddard could be a tad bit safer. Thank you, Simi Valley. Appreciate you. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you, Hammer, for yours over on the Rumble. Thank you, Mark, man. Thank you, Simi Valley. Thank you, 420, man. Thank you, Landman. Everybody over on Rumble. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all the super chatters over here on the YouTube side as well. You guys absolutely rock. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Doing it live. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Travis, you're free to dial in as well. Obviously. And let's attack as much as we can. We got 600 people in the building on the YouTube machine. We got over, the normal usual suspects over on Rumble, and we got some people over on X. But we're here doing it live like we do every single Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We go live for an hour. We go live for 3 hours, for 4 hours. We've done 5-hour shows on the 8 p.m. show before during the season. It gets crazy up in this mug. And then we come back and do a midnight to 1 a.m. Eastern show as well on the YouTube channel and Rumble. And sometimes I do stream a lot of shows during the season on Twitter, but we're just trying to get people over to the YouTube channel, so not every show might be. Mikey Mott's coming in strong with a $50 holler. Mikey stepping up.
Give me $50.
Mute yourself. I'll be right with you. Mikey Mott's coming in strong, Mikey. Going to throw you on both the videos as well, and appreciate you. Mikey had a night the other night, just an absolute extend. Mikey the Extender is what we call him now. Smitty, hope you're well. 2 things. How do you feel about Jordan Mason? Not very good. He doesn't catch footballs, and I think they drafted Claiborne, who's much better, and I'm not even sure how I feel about the running attack. And Aaron Jones is still there until he gets hurt, but Mason's okay. I would certainly contemplate picking him up, but he's one of those players I don't know that I'd pick up for sure. Depends on the scenarios. As a backup, you have a flex behind Hampton, Etienne, Harvey. Really good trio there. Second, how is our guy Cyrus the Virus work his way into consistency? I feel like Worthy had more than enough opportunities. Yeah, it might be, Mikey, where we're expecting more than we get in week 1. That's just the nature of how this stuff kind of unveils itself, and we think we're going to get a whole bunch more. Keon Coleman, case in point. Hendy had the most amazing preseason for rookie running back we'd ever seen in a long, long time, and they barely used him when week 1 kicked off. It was crazy. It was out of left field. It felt like, because we had saw Hendy get so utilized in the preseason, scoring house call after house call. So you never know. But I do believe that because Worthy's so injury prone and Rice is completely unreliable and still coming back from injury and looking slow, there'll be more than enough opportunity for him to shine. And he's as quick and speedy and great in open space as Tyreek Hill was when he got established. And so I think we're looking at a Tyreek Hill 2.0 and Antonio Brown 2.0, kind of a morph between the two. It's not a lock. Nothing's a lock in life. Anything can be held back by a simple coaching decision or a simple injury. But I do believe he'll work his way in a little bit inconsistently, different than we imagine or want it to be. But it certainly could surprise everyone, including myself, as to how quickly the KC Chiefs kind of put the pedal to the metal with the kid. But there's no guarantees. I just know that I want him on every team, and I just want him sitting there ready waiting in the wings. There's not a lot of teams where I need to start him or would start him. I'd draft him in best ball where he could automatically start for me because of the optimal scoring. But by no means should you be drafting him and starting him in week 1 in your grandma home league, your managed league, but certainly has massive upside. Thank you, my boy.
You're listening to AZ4 Radio. This one's number 4 on the charts. It's called Love, AZ4 Radio.
Thank you for those super chats. Mikey Motts, Mikey the Extender. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you very much. Good questions. All right, phone caller 262, you're live. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Manny. I'm from Wisconsin.
What's up, Manny?
Hey, I've got a, well, it could be a quick question, but yeah, I got a pretty crazy question. So I'm in a league where the scoring system is just all over the place, and I've got the third draft spot in here, and I'm just trying to figure out what spot I should take, because I have the option to switch from the 3 to anywhere on the board, right? But I just wanted to mention the scoring system right now. So
Hold on, let me merge Travis in here. Hold on one second, Travis.
it's 10 points for a passing touchdown, 9 points for a rushing touchdown.
Can I just stop you there?
13.5
I've done
points.
this professionally for 25 years. I consider myself a connoisseur, the most well-prepared person to answer any of these kinds of questions. And even I don't know what in the hell that's going to look like, bro. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I can't stand when commissioners make these stupid scoring leagues that there's no content prepared for it. Because I don't know what that looks like. I can't know. How would I know? I'm not playing in a league like that. I would never play in a league like that. And I don't create content around it. So you're going to have me kind of batting blind here as to what that's going to look like. I can make some guesstimations. But the best thing you're going to be able to do is look at scoring from last year to see what outliers kind of pop out. But go ahead and ask me the question anyways. But I'm just kind of preparing you. Like, I don't know why a commissioner would do that. There's nothing out there for anybody. It's wild. But go ahead.
And yeah, it's crazy. I left the league. Like, I did this year already. I came back for a friend's sake. I probably shouldn't have, but here we are.
So,
but I guess really the main question is just, you know, what if I'm at the 3, should I move, or should I just stay where I'm at?
Can you move to 1?
Yeah.
I moved to 1. I mean, bro, 1's the best pick in fan. Like, there's not a debate here. You're go back in time. I don't know if you played during the Tomlinson days, but like, you got Tomlinson. It wasn't a matter of like who's winning. It was like, can anybody even compete with the guy drafting at the 1.1? You know, you have to really mess up your draft entirely. If you have a chance to get the 1 and you're not taking it, you're punting an opportunity to just blast everybody into oblivion. You're getting not only the Tomlinson of the draft in Jahmyr Gibbs, you're getting also the highest drafted and ranked 3rd drafted player, which the talent is dropping off every year. It does. It's almost like clockwork. The 24, 25, 26 drop off like every year. And you're getting an opportunity to control your destiny. Sitting on the 3 pick, trying to be in the middle, trying to let other people make decisions for you. I don't know who to pick, so I'll just take the leftovers. Like, why not put a blindfold on and draft? Why not throw mud at a wall? So 100% 1.1, my guy. Like, there's not even a debate here.
For sure, man. Thanks for your
Yeah.
help.
Any other question around that, or is that the only thing you wanted to know? Is should you get the 1.1?
He was in the chat too.
Yeah,
We
you
were
know,
trying
that
to help
was
him.
really it.
What, Travis?
It's
That was really it.
such an odd scoring, like Smitty said. You got to go. Is it on Sleeper? Because it's really easy to do if it's on Sleeper to go and look at last year's leaders.
Yeah.
And see like
It's on Sleeper.
Okay, do this for me because
so
I'm curious. Yeah, go to players, okay, and then in the top right corner you're going to select I think it's projections. It'll be on, and then you're going to click that.
I think it actually says leaders. is what it
Okay,
says.
leaders. Sorry,
The players, then leaders, and then click where it says season ADP.
Yeah.
Okay.
And change it to stats in 2025.
Yeah, do that real quick on the show here. I want to hear it. It's gonna be like Matthew Stafford, number 1. Like, you know, like we don't really know.
Yeah, that's exactly what shows up. Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Drake May, Josh.
You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen goes to 4, and then it's like, you know,
Yeah.
like I don't know how that's gonna operate, and no one would. I mean, I did a good guess, but I can't possibly tell you what that does even to like the quarterback scoring versus the bonuses for running backs and wide receivers. Like who stands out? Who sticks out like a sore thumb to you? Just read it down and say like top 10. This guy's there.
Like first position
At any
player.
position or what?
I mean, just
So like who's the first position player that pops
just
up?
read it until it sticks out like a sore thumb. Just go down the overall scores and just tell us what you're seeing. Like something should jump out to you. or not?
Well, it's all quarterbacks.
Well, are you on the all tab? Like it says all positions?
Yeah, I'm on all positions.
Okay, well,
all
keep going until you see
quarterbacks,
something else you can tell
Okay.
us.
Yeah. And
but
tell me what
Bijan at
number.
21.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey at 23. Lamar Jackson at 24.
So the
Jonathan
running
Taylor at
quarterbacks.
25.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, a primarily running quarterback with massive passing upside that we've seen before, could absolutely break this if he goes back to normal. So don't think Josh Allen's not the one necessarily. But I mean, I would ask you this: what is number 10? Who's the number 8 or 10 overall player, the quarterback that's getting listed there? How far off are they from the number 1?
The 8 is Caleb Williams. The 10th is Baker
Okay, how far
Mayfield.
are they from number 1?
Oh,
man.
man.
All right,
And you're definitely on 2025 stats.
I think he's on projections.
Yep.
Is he? Are you?
It says season stats 2025.
It says season stats
Okay.
2025
'Cause
leaders.
I don't get how Baker could be there at 10.
He scored 1,400.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I wish I could help you better on this one, but
There's
This
got to
helps-
be all different
this
types
helps
of
no one. Hey,
scoring bonuses and
but
stuff.
you got a specific question. Call in on that specific question, but it's gonna be hard to help him.
And it tells you that you said Superflex, right?
Yeah.
You going?
So you're going to want to go quarterback and get the 1 or the 2 pick and go Allen or May, and then it's easy for you from there. And that and then look at the stats and everything. Try to figure out who scores the most.
Yeah, and I still go. I still probably go one
league
quarterback,
like
bro, and then I try and find like that Malik Willis later, and try and just clean up in the second, third, fourth, as long as you can. But take a look at the suggested rank when you're on the clock. Make sure you're counting how far down Willis will fall, and Bo Nix, and maybe Mahomes drops like in a weird way. I don't know. You just have to kind of look at it. But appreciate you. Call back if you got anything else. In regards to that, but yeah, that content really kind of helps no one. I love helping them, but I'm not going to dig too deep into it because it doesn't do anything for anybody watching. It's just ridiculous. I don't know why people play in those ridiculous leagues. Anybody that makes a scoring format like that as a commissioner is selfishly doing it because they played in it before, and it helps them, because they know it and no one else knows it. It's like, hey, here, put a blindfold on. Everybody's going to play with a blindfold but me. Ooh, this is so fun. I'm going to control everything because I've played in this before, and watch all you just run around with your heads cut off. And I'm going to sit here and go, yeah, I'm going to dominate all you because I feel better about myself. Travis, what are you thinking? I mean, this footage of Jeremiyah Love, let's get back to the topics at hand here. This footage of him running up the stairs of this plane as he's doing rookie duties. I hope this doesn't, it's out there, but it's not going extremely, extremely viral. So there's nothing wrong with this guy. He's walking up with a whole box of pizzas, a backpack. He's trying to balance. He's not even looking down to watch his step. And then he's out there doing a lot of ankle rehab drills on the grass with his shoes off. He's ready to go. My only concern would be how much do they hold him back in week 1 as they try and get his feet wet. I just hope that doesn't create some different than expected first month of workload divide or something like that. But I don't think it will. He's so talented. They know they got to get him the football. And this head coach, who I'm really, really impressed with, LaFleur in Arizona, reminds me of a brand new, baby Ben Johnson coming out of the McVay and Shanahan tree. A lot of chaos, pre-snap chaos, a lot of misdirection. Sometimes it's fabricated motion. It doesn't even result in anything. It's just a lot of confusion and controlled chaos magic. And LaFleur really, really impressed me. And the thing that's so impressive to me is that all 3 of his quarterbacks succeeded and looked the same. That means the offense is perfect. Offense is like Purdy and Mac Jones doesn't matter. That's what you're seeing here with LaFleur in the Arizona situation. Like, Beck could go in, and we're not going to see a dip in the production because it's going to be who's going to replicate exactly this offensive game plan, and it's going to be the same no matter who's back there. And they all three look good, which gives me such confidence in Love, McBride, MHJ, and Wilson, because anybody throwing and facilitating in the backfield behind under center is going to allow all these scorers to score. So pretty excited.
Yeah, and I think LaFleur, like you saw in the preseason games, he was aggressive. He put back in and just let back chalk and throw to whoever was open. He didn't seem to try to rein him in at all. And he doesn't give you the feel of that he's going to be like an Arthur Smith, who's like very conservative and, we're going to split carries and the veteran guy is going to get the work. And it seems like LaFleur wants to go out and, make a statement and compete as fast as he can. So Love, if it's a coach like that, Love is going to climb above Algier eventually.
Yeah.
But just get Algier, I think his ADP is affordable at this point. So get him, be safe with it, and then make a decision later if you're going to hold on.
Where we at with updating the Supernovas this week? By this weekend for sure, but hopefully by tomorrow, the Supernovas I might lock them in. I mean, it's a possibility Monday, because I want the weekend to really get them locked down, because I have a feeling a couple things could change. So I'm trying to lock them in. I know some of you want them locked in before the draft, but the Supernovas are essentially coming from the Moonman, Marsman, and Saturn boards. Like, it's not like I'm adding anyone new. It's kind of me just nailing down my favorites from the boards, but you already kind of know who they are. So it's not like I'm revealing necessarily a new player to you that you need to know about before your draft. We're pumping all these guys up that they're just being narrowed down, so to speak. So maybe this weekend, but there could be a chance that I might reveal some of it, like half of it this weekend or by tomorrow, and then the other half Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But we'll see. It's a good question. And this one here from Uncle says, why don't we like Devontae Smith having 3-round value? I mean, bro, we go over this every day. Every day we're arguing about this. Like, you could watch any show and you'll get me talking about this for 15, 20, 30 minutes a show. So to really go over this in tremendous detail is just nonstop broken record. He has a 4th round probably likelihood of production. His quarterback is trash right now. He's throwing interception after interception. There's not a single sign that the new offense and more 2 wide receiver set system, the run heavy attack by a new coordinator, that you have no idea how it's going to look. Everybody just wants it to be good. It hasn't shown a single ounce of being good yet, this offense. Not once. And so it's all built off of a bridge of hope. So you tell me, you sell me on it. This doesn't sell me. He won't be hyper-targeted this year. We don't know. How do you know what it's going to be? You haven't seen a single lick of positivity coming out of this offense yet. So you have to sell me on why he deserves to be anywhere near the 3.5 to 4.2. You have to sell me. I don't have to sell you on anything. There's nothing, no evidence whatsoever that he deserves to go at the 3.2, 3.3, the ridiculous ADP that Devontae Smith has. That all the selling has got to be done by you. Like, I literally am just sitting back going, you tell me why he deserves to be here. You can't just say you don't think he's going to give volume. You can say that about anybody. But it's a good question. It's just one we've answered 1,000 times over. So, and debated on the Graveyard shows for hours. Like, we've had hour conversations on it, like, at least once a week. Travis, what were you saying?
Yeah, and I noticed the bar they set for his yardage is always like, well, he can get 1,000 yards, and like he said, 1,000 plus yards. Well, if you're drafting the guy in the 3rd round, like, you want them getting like 11, 12, 1,300 yards is the hope. Like, you want, and I get he might be your wide receiver 2, but if you're drafting a wide receiver 2, you're going for an elite wide receiver 2 in the
it makes zero sense. Like, you want me to, I'll even be more clear. It makes zero sense to make him your high 3rd drafted player. There's not a bit of sensibility about it. It's ridiculous Totally agree with about Cyrus, says Mikey Motts, the extender, Mikey the extender. Not starting him week 1. I mean, you're not starting him week 1 doesn't mean he won't start for the Chiefs in week 1. And there's a chance he scores a touchdown. Like, I'd be very excited about it. I got St. Brown, Pickens, and Devontae. So yeah, you're good. And MHJ, you're starting MHJ over Cyrus in week 1. And you're just waiting, not sold on the Chiefs wide receiver room with Worthy Thornton. Want a wide receiver replacement for MHJ. Yeah, he will eventually either give it to you or not. You'll either get that, that monster rising star next Tyreek Hill, or he won't be. I don't think there'll be much in between. He's either going to be the biggest bust we've seen in a long time, or he's going to be what I believe he'll be, which is a rising star and the future of that wide receiver room starting next year. So, Mikey, I appreciate your comment. And it's a polarizing, player. It's no different, though, than, and I always use this example for people because you need to understand that there's risk involved sometimes. This is no different than the Achane value. It's a lot lower cost of entry, so the risk is lower in entry, so to speak. But when we had to decide whether Achane was the guy we were going to back, and nobody was even close to being as high on Achane as we were. Nobody. And it was risky, and there was apparent risk sitting right in front of your face because he had the knee injury, came back in and got suplexed on the knee again right away on like the first play. Right on the same knee, somebody just like landed on it, and everyone's like, he's so injury prone, and there's risk going into his second year, but we didn't care. We were all in, and the risk be damned, and he overcame all of it. Like, you're always going to have a certain amount of risk of a player, and this is a story to remind you that this guy walked in with so much risk, and you had to make a decision. Which side were you on? Every player is going to have risk. And every player isn't a lock to become the Achane. They could have a setback. Best player example of that, probably in recent memory, would be, Hendy feels like, if he had the same path that Achane had, we'd already be talking about him as a top 8 overall pick. But Hendy was given a different path. If Achane was given Hendy's path, we wouldn't even be speaking about Achane right now. Like, that's unfortunately the way this fantasy football racket goes. And Tuten's another one of those players. Like, the volume's either going to go this way or it's going to go this way. And we're banking on him going to the top and taking him to the promised land. But there is going to be a significant amount of risk that's worth it to us to say we believe it's going to all work out. Because all he'd have to do is get hurt right now, not get his volume. Rodriguez and LaQuint Allen start taking on enough work, and then by the time Tuten comes back, it's very similar to when Hendy started 2 games, had 5 touchdowns in a 2-game stretch. It felt like Stevenson was done. And then Hendy, I believe it was a concussion that he was able to come back from, but it looked like he was going to miss the game, the 3rd game, and he was going to start a 3rd game. It's like, oh my God, he's got a concussion. I think it was a concussion. And then Stevenson was injured, and they rush him back. Yeah. They rush him back because they don't know if Hendy will clear. And then Hendy's able to play, and they're like, well, Stevenson's back. We're just going to start Stevenson again. Like, that kind of order of things that could really just make you go mad and just sit there and go, damn it, like, how in the hell did this opportunity that Hendy earned and produced on get ripped from him? And that's part of the frustration about Hendy's situation. So anything can go awry. Like the Jeremiyah Love situation, there's a small chance that they dial him back a little. They use Algier, they use multiple running backs, and then they're comfortable with it. And then all of a sudden, Love's ready to go week 2, full go, and they're like, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And there's always going to be that kind of risk, and you just got to decide what side you want to be on. It is what it is.
Especially when teams are winning, too, because, that's not a good excuse that happens, and that's what happened with the Patriots is they were winning, so it's just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which I disagree with.
Yeah, I was so mad.
But I think that was part of it.
It's crazy though. Like, he had 5 touchdowns in 2 games. You're like, let's go back to what we were doing. Like, it makes me want to. It makes you want to scream and run into a wall. Just run my head right into a wall.
You know what it reminds me of is remember when Melvin Gordon was just doing enough that they kept putting him out there instead of Javonte. It had a similar feel to that, where all year was waiting for Javonte to be unleashed with Denver, and just never was quite.
Yeah. 12 PPR redraft, 1 QB, no kicker, Sun God, Chase Brown, Pickens, Scat. Pickens in 3 is crazy. Scat, Flowers. I definitely am trying to trade Scat and Flowers together for one better player. Don't know that I'm worried about anything else. Stribling you could throw in if it made the deal. You know, I love him, but he's definitely a good throw-in right now. But that's probably what I'm working on. Just go get a much better player than Flowers or Scat individually by putting the two together. And you shouldn't have a problem doing that. It should be pretty easy. Or you could divide it up and say, let me go Scat and Stribling for one slightly better player than Scat. And then you trade maybe Herbert and Stribling or vice versa to get Herbert slightly upgraded. But I don't even mind Herbert. Herbert could be 5. It could be QB5. So I think I'd focus on Scat and Flowers for one monster. And, you know, you think of where Scat's going, or Flowers, you think of where Flowers is going. He's going 3.5 to 3.9, which is just ridiculously bad. Good. It's good. It's just horrible expectation of disappointment. But you think about if you're putting Flowers and Scat goes here, Flowers goes here. They're literally on top of each other ADP wise. Then what can you do? You can get Love. Love's going right where Flowers is going now. Like you could almost trade Flowers straight up for Love. Try Scat for Love straight up, Flowers for Love straight up. Try and prey on somebody's fear. But if not, like you got to think Scat and Flowers can go even higher than just a few picks in the 3rd round. So what if you could get an Achane, a Chase Brown, a Walker, a Hampton? Why not try? Why not shoot for the moon? And maybe you're going Neighbors or Pickens or a wide receiver potentially. But I forget if he had another running back to be able to do that. Chase Brown. I mean, you could go Harvey. Get Coleman.
They were asking.
Get Coleman somehow. You could go Harvey as a running back too and just get another monster. You got Pickens already. You already have Chase Brown. Another monster. I don't know if he can. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have stuff on the bench too they could throw into a deal. And they were asking, should they drop anyone to add any of these players? But if they make it like a 2-for-1 trade or a 3-for-2 trade,
yeah, that's definitely the point of those 2-for-1 sometimes. Cut one, add one. So free agents, I would say I like Coker a lot. Yeah, I mean this is why you throw Flowers in and you make an open spot. You pull Coker as a really good receiver onto your roster, or Cyrus Allen. I mean, think about like if you were to throw Stribling in, let's say it was a 3-for-1, you just give you Stribling too, and then you can add Cyrus and Coker with the one player they're giving you, and then you're kind of looking at it like a 3-for-3. You know,
I think that's a good point too. Is that a lot of people are probably thinking right now, oh well, I don't want to trade Stribling, but if Stribling is going to be the piece that gets you that monster, you go and you do it.
Yeah, you can't.
So, because I know that it's hard for a lot of people to come off of.
Yeah, I mean, I love Harvey. I hate trading him, but if Harvey gets you into a Jeremiah Love, then you got to look at that. I feel like Cyrus is one injury from never coming out of the Chiefs starting lineup. And he might even be in there right away. It's just in a rotation. Yeah. And also, I had 49ers running back Kalen Black. Do you prefer him? I definitely don't want to cut Kalen Black, but I do get that you got to make a move, I suppose. Who is his other?
Oh, he said him or the other guy.
Who's the other guy?
Does that mean Jordan James? Is that what he means?
It might be what he means, but I don't know who you're talking about cutting or what. But I like Kalen Black. So if you got to pick up, are you saying pick up Cyrus for Kalen Black? Is that what you mean, Montz? If so, I guess I'm torn on.
No, I think it's separate.
Okay.
He didn't say he has to cut anyone.
Okay.
He's just saying he has Black, and do you prefer him or the other?
Just James versus Black.
I think.
Yeah, Kalen Black.
Yeah.
Anything can happen early.
Entrenched now.
As I always say, like if McCaffrey couldn't play week 1 off of some crazy news, there's a chance that Jordan James gets the nod. But if we're talking about McCaffrey missing week 8 later on, I think Kalen Black gets into the role. So you got to be like, do you want backup Christian McCaffrey now or backup later, where there's a more likely chance he gets hurt later after getting some mileage?
Black's had a whole month almost to catch up with
another
James
Black
too. You know, like I know he's not in.
I bank on Kalen Black. Hey, Smitty, got an offer on the table. My Walker for his Olave. Walker is a top 14 overall player, 15 overall player. Olave's a third rounder, bro. So I don't know why we'd even entertain this. My Walker for his Olave running backs, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what your running backs, it doesn't matter what his. You're trying to trade a $20 bill down to a 10 and a 5. Still good, but you're $5 short. Like, why would we do that? Why would you trade a guy you draft at almost round 1 value for a third round wide receiver? Like, that comes down to, like, you need to draft differently if you're trying to then accomplish this after the draft. It's not even close. I like Olave, but it's not even close, bro. You know, you got to come up with something different. If you're going to trade Walker, trade him for, like, Love and some wide receiver upgrade. That's what I would do. Okay, so I asked you about Love. If you had to guess, you think he starts week 1, and do they limit him a little?
Yeah, I think he's going to start. I can't imagine if, like, you know, I know we're a couple weeks out or whatever, but I mean, actually not even. I guess 2 weeks probably. But, like, I don't think they'd be having him go up and down stairs like that. And, you know, if things are still dire for his ankle, you know, he's doing work on the field. These guys, especially these elite athletes, they usually ramp up pretty quick, especially how young he is. So, as for the, you know, slow roll, getting him in there, I mean, it could. Maybe him and Algier split the start, but again, I agree with you that he's going to pull away. Like, he's way better than Algier. Like, Algier's a solid backup.
That one guy, I forget who it was that said it on the McAfee show, but saying that he's a feature back, but not an every down back. Like, did they just, like, I forget who that was, but did he, it's almost like he doesn't even watch football. And the fact that people even took that and thought there was something to it. It's like anybody will hear if they hear anything. If somebody gets heard and they're loud enough, maybe they have a platform for it, enough Twitter followers, whatever, and they say something, it could be the dumbest thing they've ever said in their life, but people just take it like it's law. You know, it's like I always say the Amazon review. It's like amazing review. They're 5.5 out of 6 stars, whatever. Or is it 5 stars on Amazon? 4.5. It's like 4.99999. It's like almost full 5-star review on Amazon. And then there's the one person that says this plug caught my garage on fire. And it's like, oh, I'm out. And you just can't buy it anymore. Doesn't matter. You're just like, all you're picturing is it's the one review. And some of you guys got to stop listening to one damn person that just taints the whole thing for you when they're not even a legit person. Like somebody that says Jeremiah Love is not an every down back, doesn't know football.
Yeah. I mean, the day the Kenneth Walker ankle news came out, there was people telling you to go and trade him, move off of him. Yeah. It's like you don't even know what the severity of.
He's on the sideline laughing and throwing the ball back and forth. Like people are just like it's precautionary. And even the Mike Evans stuff, somebody says, "Oh, did you hear about Mike Evans? He's not back yet." And then you start hearing people say, "He's not back yet. He's not back yet. He's not back yet." Bro, stop! Mm-hmm. You're listening to people that don't know ball. Shanahan said he's coming back next week. You're still not injured if you're projected to be back on Monday. You already know everything's good. It's wild. It's wild. Rhino with the $20 super chat. Rhino.
Super chat alert.
Rhino, thank you, my guy. Rhino says, phew, that was close. I almost missed the ride on the Tuten train, but I have my ticket all aboard. Rhino says, saddle me up on the Tuten train. All right, let's buckle him in. Let me get him screenshotted here. And we will put you on the train, young man. Here you go.
Toot, toot.
Thank you, Rhino. Appreciate you. Okay, as for that, on that note, Tuten, and then I gotta grab these other 3 super chats that are right here. Guys, hang tight. Christopher Megas and Mikey Motts again. Well, let me read Mikey's again. Mikey said, what did he say here? Smitty Travis, born, raised Philly, Eagle, diehard, did not draft any Eagles because I'm so skeptical about Hurts and another OC in system, zero fantasy trust. The fact that people are arguing so hard for this Eagles situation, especially Devontae Adams or Devontae Smith and his value is so wild to me, because there's nothing positive yet from the system. Like from anything. There's just nothing. You can't even find like amazing clips of anything. It's like all you see are clips of Hurts struggling. And even the social media team is hosting Hurts getting blasted by the defense and putting up in slow motion with music, not understanding they're making Hurts look awful. They're trying to like, our defense is so good, with Hurts throwing pick after pick in slow motion with classical music. And this is the own Eagles social media team. It's wild. And they just had no clue what they were opening up in terms of memes. Now every one of their mothers is throwing memes up of that classical music montage of Hurts. But yeah, it's wild to me. Real quickly, Travis, hold on. Let me just get these out of the way real quick. Keith Mitchell or Jonah Coleman. I'm going to go Jonah Coleman right now because Keith Mitchell, because there's maybe an injury, but I don't think it's severe. But Mike McDaniel's very coy about stuff like that. Will you be posting the best players to draft by round like you did last year? We've done videos like that already, but certainly looking to maybe do a video on that. I'll write it down and refresh it potentially. So best each round. And then I'm probably going to do a video on, I've had a couple requests of this already. Moonman video, Marsman video, Jupiter video, Saturn video for all of those players. So look for that. Eagles offense preseason has been absolutely dog crap. That's what Mott says. Thank you, Mott. Appreciate you. Smitty, I have pick 1 and currently sitting on my draft in the middle of the second round. If Genty falls to me at the end of round 2, do I take him? Absolutely. And on the turn, do I take Love, Pickens, Neighbors? Again, I don't know how many times I got to say this. Balance wins leagues, bro. Balance gives you I'm not going to go running back from the one spot. Not to mention, you're almost certainly looking at a best player available option being a wide receiver. It's not like you're forcing wide receiver. You're taking best player available, but that one pick is gifting you Neighbors or Pickens or London even. But you need to grab a wide receiver with one of those 3 picks because it will equate to best player available. But 100% take a wide receiver, bro. And you're going to have such a good team. If Genty falls, you go Pickens or Neighbors with him. And if, let's say, Genty goes, you could technically go Pickens and Love. I'm fine with that. But you could go, if you went, I'm assuming you went Gibbs. If you went Gibbs and you could go Pickens and McBride or Pickens Bowers as well. I'm fine with that. But balance getting a one wide receiver, it's a great mistake not to grab at least one wide receiver when you're talking about a Pickens or Neighbors level. If you were like down to, let's say, Nico only, I could have a conversation about that with you and say, what's the idea of what is the wide receiver likelihood based on the platform you're on, the ADP? Can you get like Adams and Evans and like could Garrett Wilson fall, like something wild like that? In the 4th round, I got Neighbors in my draft. So anything's possible. It really kind of depends on the platform, whether I would maybe go down the road of trying that if, let's say, it was Nico only. And I like Nico, but I'm just telling you, I wouldn't even be hesitating on a Pickens or Neighbors. 10-team Superflex. I'm a contender rebuilding. Offered me Nico, Achane, and Washington. I assume this is Parker Washington. Nico, Achane, and Parker Washington. I have Genty. No, it's Mike Washington. I have Genty. Okay. For 27 first rounds, 28 second, and 29 first rounder, and Harvey and Vidal. So you're getting Nico, Achane, and Mike Washington for 3 first rounders. As long as the 27 firsts are not likely, which I highly doubt they will be if you acquire this talent, the 1.1 or 1.2 guaranteed in your mind, then I'm taking it. Like I don't care. Like I'm trading 3 first rounders alone for Achane, bro. Like you're getting Nico and Washington to go with your Genty, and then you're gonna have Achane, Genty, Nico. That's pretty easy call. I would literally, you can't even get Achane for 2 first rounders in a normal league. Like, you just can't. So you're adding another one, and then you're getting Nico back. So pretty easy call, bro. Very nice trade. Smitty approved. This one here, that's from Gilliam. Gilliam, thank you, pal. Gilliam, you dropped a super chat when the show had already ended the other day. But delay, 10-second delay, 15-second delay at that point in the show. So Gilliam, I'm sorry. I did answer your question, though. Did you see? If you ever drop one at the end of the show, just wait and look in the chat, and I usually type it. So Gilliam, I'm not sure if you saw my answer. So I drafted Fannin because I think he's an absolute talent, which you're correct on. But that was before they named Watson the QB1. That might be very, very short-lived, bro. Do they bench him if he goes 0-2? I believe they may bench him in the middle of week 1 or in the middle of week 2, yes. And don't worry about Fannin. He'll be fine. And, like, you know, he's got to throw to somebody. And if he doesn't, then they're going to get him out of there quick. And if he throws to somebody and does okay enough to still get benched, he's going to be throwing it to Fannin. But will Fannin do less than we think while Watson's in there? Sure. All right, let me go over to Rock Out then. Elgin, stay muted. 623, stay muted. Rock Out, you're live. BBQ with the gifted memberships, by the way. 50 gifted memberships coming in strong.
I smell meatloaf.
BBQ, thank you, pal. Go ahead, Rock Out. You're live, Rock Out.
Can you go to your board real quick?
Sure.
All right, I can give you 2 teams. First team, Chase, Love, Collins. Second team, Bijan, Bowers, Neighbors. What team you like him?
Why can't we make this team Neighbors as well? Why can't we have it say Chase, Love, Neighbors?
Is this like a trade?
It seems like a draft strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Rock Out?
Yeah, that particular one, Neighbors didn't fall.
So these are 2 different leagues?
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, it seems like you're doing scenarios. Okay. I would probably say...
It is scenarios. It's the mock draft.
Okay, so I would say Bijan, Bowers, Neighbors for sure. But I love Nico. I just don't love him as much as his other side. And then I like Love a lot. Obviously like him a lot, but Bowers is, higher ranked. So I would say the right side for sure. But if you threw Neighbors onto this side, if this was a scenario, I would probably say, let me write it down and look at it. Neighbors. Chase, Love, Neighbors. Bijan, Bowers, Neighbors. So essentially, Chase and Love versus Bijan, Bowers. Honestly, I think it's dead even. I think Chase. I draft Chase over Bijan, but it doesn't mean I don't love Bijan like near as much. I just draft Chase over Bijan. I like Chase a little bit better. So I would trade in a vacuum, trade Bijan for Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Jamar Chase. Love and Bowers is pretty even. I think Love will play that well. But Bowers is, I don't know, like Travis, how much do you like, we always say you got to trust that instinct in the back of your head that's just screaming. Mm-hmm. How much are we worried about his knee being taped and, all these clips of him? They're just clips of him on the sideline. Like he's not even holding his knee like, but like everyone keeps saying, why is his knee still taped? Look at Bowers. Watch his knee. Everyone's talking about it. Like a lot of it seems fabricated, but how much are we worried that like they're not telling us that his knee's still a problem, and then all of a sudden, like we hear he's sitting out with the knee injury again, and like how much of that is going through your head right now, or is it just PTSD and it's really just people making up stuff? It's so hard to. I don't
know, because I think you gotta it's gonna sit there like a bug in your head a little bit just because of the PTSD. But I mean, and it sucks because each coach is different. But until you hear something,
you can't live scared.
Overreact. I guess the conversation though is because he's a second round pick.
Yeah,
you have to kind of dig into it because it's such a high pick. I mean, I guess it's as simple as if you're uncomfortable with it, take a AJB Pickens, something like that instead. You're probably okay.
Yeah. I would say just diversify your portfolio. Don't have 5 leagues where you have Bowers in all 5, just to cover yourself, because there is that threat of a reminder that some players, and I don't think he'll be this kind of player, but some players will struggle from one year to the next with the same injury, and then all of a sudden you're like, the next year you don't trust them, and the next year they're out of the league. I don't think that will be Bowers, but it's something to think about because they are so coy about his status, and even the organization was last year about it. But I'm not worried about it in general. I think I'm drafting to win and smash my league mates, and this guy has the ability to be, in hindsight, a top 5 overall pick. Like, that's how good he's gonna be if he's healthy.
And if the bench is big enough, just every May or two, because he's going to be good. It won't be Bowers, but he'll be good if Bowers goes down.
I'm going to go around the phone line here. Good question, though. Rock out. Just mute yourself real quick if you could. Elgin 301, you're live, and then I'll go over to the 623. But 623, please stay muted. Go ahead, Elgin. You're live.
Smitty, my boy, what's up, man? Quick question. So if these 3 receivers fall back to you, and you got, you took Gibbs, the first pick overall, which 2 are you picking? Neighbors, Rice, or George Pickett?
George Pickett. Pickens? Oh. Okay, yeah. So you got Gibbs, Gibbs, and you're saying Neighbors, Pickens, or who?
Rasheed Rice.
I'm not taking Rice over Neighbors.
Which 2 are you picking?
I'm taking Pickens, then Neighbors in that order. A little bit of a tier break, and then Rice, only because he hasn't. It's not that I don't like him. It's not that I don't think he's a good 3rd round pick, but I feel like you look at Neighbors, he looks 110% healthy, bro. He looks as quick as he's ever looked. He's cutting. Okay. Rice still hasn't looked the exact same yet. I'm not saying he won't get there, but there's no way you can draft Rice, who hasn't shown he's the same exact person yet, when Neighbors has shown he's the same exact person. And Pickens is healthy, so there's nothing to even debate there. And he was number 5 last year.
So Pickens, Neighbors, and Rice in that order.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Just checking with you. Okay.
Sure.
All right. That's
all right. Elgin, call back if you got another one. Appreciate you, bro. Later.
Yes, sir.
All right. 623, you are live.
Hey, how's it going, Smitty, man? Big fan. I got a question on keepers, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I got R.J. Harvey in the 3rd, Flowers in the 4th, Dowdle in the 12th, Love in the 13th, and Kincaid in the 15th. I can keep 2.
Loveland 13?
No, Jordan Love in the 13th.
Oh, Jordan Love. Damn, bro. Mute yourself real quick. I'll be right with you. Jordan Love. I think you said Loveland. And this is a 1 QB?
1 QB, yes.
I mean, I don't know that, I hate to burst your bubble here, but I don't even know. You said Harvey in the 3rd round, Flowers in 4, and then Love. I don't know. I don't care about Love. Yeah, of the ones you listed, unless I missed something, I don't love any of these keepers, bro. I'm not keeping Harvey in the 3rd round.
I also have Dowdle in the 12th.
I guess you're keeping that one, but these aren't very good keepers.
Yeah, I mean, it's split picking. Yeah, I was thinking Dowdle and then Kincaid in the 15th.
I guess. I don't even know Kincaid's my 15th round pick. But I would say, yeah, these are not good. I don't know what you were doing last year. Did you trade some picks away or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in our league, you have to draft them and keep them on your team all season.
I guess I would say you keep Dowdle and then you keep in 15 and you keep Flowers in 4. You can't keep Harvey in 3. It's not anywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing that one.
Well, you listed it. I'm just making sure.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I would say Flowers is 3rd round ADP. So I get the only concern I'd have is what if you get to the pick and you like somebody better than Flowers? You're like, oh no, I got Flowers written in here. Yeah, I mean, does Dowdle? I mean, if you threw Flowers back, you'd get your 4th rounder back. What pick is it? 4 point what?
4.10. Or it's
okay.
The 10th pick.
Yeah, it's almost the 5th. That's pretty decent value, I guess. At least you could trade it because if people are liking Flowers in the top like 30, 33 overall, you could probably trade Flowers 4th round keeper to somebody. Maybe I'd explore it. See if you can get anybody to buy in on that.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you mind if I ask you another one on another league?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have Bo Nix at 5.
One QB.
Yeah, 1 QB.
Okay, Knicks at 5. Which is not great value. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Judkins at 8. Rashad White at 9.
No.
Woody Marks at 11. Blake Corum at 13.
Okay. It's not...
Manungai at 16.
Judkins and Corum. Easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
All right, my boy.
Appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you. Later.
Bye.
You know, we got to do a video on what are the most likely, I'm going to write this down, the most likely players that will hold amazing keeper value options, like to get like Cyrus Allen, for example, to get the Judkins in round 8. Good value here. Like keeper smash picks, So I'll do a video on that. Because I mean that was brutal. That first team, he had nobody. Like you gotta find ways to draft guys that are gonna give you some huge keeper upside. We'll do a video on that. Trey Henderson. Hold on 1 second, callers. I'll be right with you. 10-man PPR. Josh Allen, JSN, Adunze, ETN, Henderson, Bowers, Washington, Broncos, RJ Harvey, Price. Was offered Neighbors and Adams for JSN. That's not bad, but you have Adunze, you have Parker Washington. So JSN, Parker Washington, and Adunze, and then you're either sitting Adunze or I don't know if you have an extra flex where you could use all this, but I would probably say, damn, I don't know. I mean, Adams is pretty nice to add. It goes in the 5th round, though. Like, part of me wonders if you could just trade for him cheaper, but apparently this guy's probably going to be set on this. I don't know. It's hard to say. I probably lean JSN, but, I mean, I love Adams this year, but he's kind of an unknown in terms of how many games he plays, but he looks dominating right now. And Puka getting suspended in week 1. He's going to start off hot. You'll have some good trade value there, potentially. I like it. Neighbors could be as good as JSN. But JSN is my number 5 overall player, so he's a little safer. I guess, Travis, what do you think here?
So his running backs are ETN, ND. Price. I mean, in the Wild West League, I traded JSN for Neighbors and Ladd because and now I have flexibility to help my RBs, but my RBs are really iffy. So,
you know what I don't...
I think I'm with you. I lean JSN, but I
the reason I don't like this trade for him, I like keeping JSN, is because like you'll have no monsters. Your running backs are good, but you have no big name players. So if you trade JSN, you like literally have Bowers and that's it. Like you don't. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have good talent, but you literally feel like you didn't have a first rounder anymore. Yeah. You don't have what traded it.
Need Neighbors to rise up.
Yeah, but I guess Neighbors is a
I think
I shouldn't say it like that. I don't mean it like that, but I mean you don't have a first round like player anymore. It's so brutal when you trade that first round player and you look at a roster. But Neighbors is a monster. I don't know.
And also, like, I wonder what that guy has for running backs. If he could get Neighbors and like a good running back for JSN and something.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
And
if that would make more sense.
Can you maybe set up a trade at the same time, like a parallel trade of Adams and, you know, something for, like if you could trade Adams and ETN for like a bigger running back upgrade, something, then and then you could set up the two, then it'd be worth doing, I think maybe. But I'm gonna bank on JSN, man. You draft him at number 5 because the top 5 overall player. You're taking Neighbors at the 2-3 turn because there's risk. I think he's very priced in very nicely there, but you're doing that for a reason. So I'm going to say no on that. If I'm doing that trade, I want the Adams piece to be different. A little bit more, less risk averse, you know. Thoughts on Burrow, Hampton, Monty, Amon-Ra, Sutton, Bowers, Price, Crocker, benches, Waddle, Fannin. Need a wide receiver too. Monty, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What is this? Burrow, Hampton, Bowers, Sutton, Amon-Ra. Trade Amon-Ra down to upgrade Monty. So Pickens, Neighbors, go after those players. Amon-Ra to Pickens, Amon-Ra to Neighbors, Amon-Ra to maybe even London. Amon-Ra maybe to Nico. Depends on who that upgrade is to upgrade Monty. That's my main objective with that team. And that would be an amazing one. All right, let me go over to this caller real quick. Fred, is this your super chat? You're live, by the way.
Not my super chat, but I had a few quick questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are your thoughts on Amon-Ra over JSN at the 5?
I don't hate it, but I don't do it. I don't agree with it, but I don't dislike it. I mean, Amon-Ra's super steady, but I think JSN has the ability to be the number 1 wide receiver. I think St. Brown has the ability to be the number 4, like he can always be. And then I think that upside I'd rather have, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just like the safe and steady play, but I don't know. We'll just see. And then
I think JSN is
safe.
I think JSN's going to prove to be just as safe, honestly.
Yeah, if not safer. I mean, like Travis said, he's. I don't know why we're.
I just worry about him playing the Rams in the playoffs, and then Amon-Ra having all those games indoors. Is my thinking with that.
I think you're overthinking it.
Yeah,
but trust your
gut. In terms of round 3, I have one more for you. In round 3, would you go like Josh Allen or a guy like Nico if say AJB, Pickens, and Neighbors are off?
Depends on your first 2 picks.
Let's say it's like wide receiver, running back.
Well, give me the names. Throw it at me and I'll tell you.
Let's say I go Amon-Ra, Saquon, and then it's 3rd pick in the 5th overall slot.
Yeah,
I
don't hate your pick. I personally wouldn't take Saquon either. But okay, so Amon-Ra, Saquon, and then Josh Allen over what players you're saying?
Well, I like the receivers like AJ Brown. I'd take over Allen probably, but like Nico is where I.
Nico, make sure Pickens, Neighbors, they're all gone. Okay, so would it be Nico? Give me another name or 2.
Nico. I don't love Rashee Rice. I know you're probably higher on him than me.
London.
But he probably wouldn't even be there. I think it's really just Nico.
London gone in this draft?
If it gets to Nico. I would think London and Rice will be off the board too.
So I'd probably say it's a pretty close call between Nico and Allen. I think my answer would be where, first of all, McBride would have to be gone too. It depends on where you think you're getting Drake May or Burrow or those guys. If those guys are going to go really early, like 4 or 5 round territory instead of 5, 6, then I kind of lean Allen, because I guess I'd rather have.
Yeah, my thinking.
What?
Yeah, my thinking with that is like, if if I don't get Allen, I can look at Drake May in the 5th round. But is that really that good of a value?
Yeah, it's kind of apples to apples, bro. Because you look at Drake May and Nico, and you look at Parker Washington and Josh Allen. Like, I mean, neither way is like ahead of the other. Really, it's just going to come down to how they perform to expectation. But there's certainly a world where Parker Washington and Josh Allen can outscore Nico and Drake May. But it's pretty even. I think if you could get Drake May further back, the better. Like if you could get him at 5'6" versus 4, you know, if it's 4-5 or like could be 4, then I'd rather have Josh Allen. But I love Drake May.
My thinking is it like maybe I get AJ Brown in the 3rd and you have the stack.
If you do, of course, AJ Brown over Josh Allen all day. But AJ Brown deserves to go in the top 12 to 14. All right, later, bro. Yeah, AJ Brown. It's funny how some drafts, some platforms, AJ Brown falls to 3, and then underdog. I'm taking him at the 13 and 14 overall pick sometimes. It's crazy.
I can tell that caller doesn't like.
No,
risk.
He's
risk averse, which is
it's
all right.
fine. Yeah, he's fine. He definitely has the insurance where they're like, we're gonna have to put a monitor on your car to see how you're driving. No problem. No problem. We're not speeding or accelerating here. You just throw that right on, get that $7 discount per month for sure. That's a total Saquon drafter in the 2nd round. And the people drafting Genty Hurt were like, I'm not putting that thing on my car. You kidding me? I floor it at the light. Yeah. Give me Genty. B Fred.
Yeah, rolling stops at the stop sign.
B Fred 1, 2, 4 overall picks in a home league through draft pick trading. Nice job. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. PPR can't wait to deploy the Gibbs Bijan Puka. That'd be pretty good. I hopefully it's Jamar Chase Bijan Gibbs. But thank you, B Fred. Appreciate you. And 10-man 0.5 PPR, May, Achane, Javonte, JJ, Neighbors, Warren, Christian Watson. Any moves to make? May, Achane, Javonte, JJ, Neighbors, Warren. Love the Neighbors, May, Achane combo. I'm not huge on JJ. I also like Javonte, but I am okay trading him if the price is right. So I think I'd try and move like Javonte and Christian Watson for one slightly better player. And then I try and move JJ down to like Neighbors or Pickens to upgrade Warren. I think there's 2 moves I'm trying to make at the same time. So try and do those. You might end up landing on one of them. You might end up crossing those players over to make one move and not doing the 2. But those are the attempts I would make. Amon-Ra for Parker Washington and Egbuka. Abuka. I would probably, geez, man, Parker Washington's going to be so good. I think I lean Amon-Ra, but it kind of depends on your situation. Yeah. But more likely than not, I'm going to still, no matter what you tell me, still rather have Amon-Ra. It's close, but Abuka being hurt is the reason why. And I'm not saying he'll stay hurt. I'm just saying it's like the value's the value. You know, if your house goes through an earthquake and you're trying to sell it the next day, you're probably going to have to sell it a little cheaper. And I think that you got to still think about that, the structure of that house. You don't know if Buka is 100% or going to linger. And so you're just kind of you're buying at the Buka was climbing to 3.2 value. And now he's fallen to 4.5. So you got to account for that. Don't buy him. Let this guy get off and sell him at the 3.2 value, which is what you're buying at. With Hampton as a running back 1, would you be comfortable with Love as your running back 2? I'd be comfortable with Love as my running back 1, bro. But that would have me be going heavier wide receiver. So, yeah, I'd be 100% comfortable with that. Having to take him at the 3-1 turn, that's fine. Limited keeper league. Or go with Javonte Williams over Love? No, bro. I like Javonte, but you can't rank him at the 2-3 turn, bro. Appreciate you very much with that. And guys, the whole point of this stream was to get you back excited about Love. And now we're talking about Javonte versus Love. Man, I haven't done my job if that's what we're talking about off this live stream.
There's people that are just, no matter what you tell them, they're going to be afraid of
love. Yeah,
love.
apparently.
I think is where it's at. Because earlier in the chat, it was like, oh, they were just flabbergasted. Like, well, why are we talking about this? Like, love. He's got an ankle injury.
You don't know what to do. I was told by another channel that I worry about it. The same people that told me not to draft Neighbors. If you're scared about Love's ankle, you were scared about Neighbors not playing until October. Scared Scotties. Anyone know why I can't send a super chat? I don't know, Cry. You might need to check and see if your in-app purchases is enabled on your phone. You might have disabled it because of a child or didn't want them buying, Roblox or whatever that's called. So check that out. Also, you could also do it on Rumble if you're on Rumble. But yeah, check it out. Restart your phone too. Sometimes that is the only thing that's required. Close the app, open it. If that doesn't work, restart your phone real quick. But if closing the app sometimes will just do the trick. You just had it open too long or something, bro. You're watching like 8 hours of the fin. Well, sure, that'll do it to you.
He said he meant go with Javante later. So I guess that would mean instead take someone other than Love.
I mean, I like Neighbors and Pickens, bro. So sure. But drafting rookie running backs didn't work last year, so I don't understand the hype. Oh! So last year means that this year... Why didn't you tell us, bro? Why didn't you tell us, bro? We here this whole time I've been making content about getting in on the rookies like Jeremiah Love, but Petrified Brian says that rookies didn't work last year. It is related. It is related. Love, like Travis, you're right. How are people doubting Love? How are you, bro? I've done a 2-hour show on why Jeremiah Love is a top 5 running back, and you're saying what? We don't like him at the 2-3 turn because he's a rookie. Didn't you see last year how it worked? Last year has everything to do with Jeremiah Love.
And that's the part I can't grasp is that, like, Genty and Bijan were going first round. Love is, on that level or just below these guys, and he's going in the third round at the 2.
And
that's a huge.
And the amount of defending I have to do, which wastes my marker for comments like that, Brian. Like William said, BS. I drafted Hendy and Harvey and won my championship. Harvey had 12 touchdowns. You know what I love better than anything? When somebody comes into my comment section and says, you said the same thing about Harvey. And I'm like, I did. And Harvey had 12 touchdowns. Thank you very much.
Yeah, these are the people that were reaching for Harvey and taking him in like round 3 last year.
But last year,
no one told you to
You told me Harvey would be good. He had 12 touchdowns, Bill.
He's a top 20 running back.
He had 12 touchdowns.
Basically half a season's worth of work.
12. You can't even count that on 2 hands, Bill. You have to use an additional hand. Like, that's crazy. Think about that, Bill. But you said the same thing about Harvey. Am I right, guys? Am I right? I love it when people say it. I love it. Whenever I read it, I get a big smile. And they say, you said the same thing about Harvey. And I go, you're right. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're realizing you're wrong. Don't be so, it happens, bro, to the best of us. I have likely in a Conquo trade away Kraft for MHJ. Yeah, I mean, sure. If you need a receiver. And I like Kraft, but they're going to pitch count him. And, I like him a lot, but that's not bad. That is not a bad move, I think, to make, to be quite honest. Mute yourself, caller, that I just added. There's a lot of background noise. Make sure there's nothing in the background there. If so, I'm going to have to hang up because I hear a lot of reverb and movement. And I don't know if I'm in your pocket or whatnot. Dynasty.
Is it all good?
Yeah. Dynasty question 12-team PPR. Skylar Bell. I don't know what you're doing with your phone, bro. Dynasty 12-team PPR. Skylar Bell in a 28-second, a third, and a fourth for Wandell and Cup. What? Hey, Smitty, should I trade a fourth-round pick for...
This is a purple John trade.
Yeah, should I trade $4 in Fab for a 7th-round rookie pick? Like, I don't know, Max. What are we doing here? 12-team, like, you just bored? Skylar Bell plus a 28-second, third, and fourth for Wanda.
What are we doing with Cup?
Hey, what's Cup have to do with this? How did he get in this conversation, bro? How did Cup earn some screen time? I guess I'd go... I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have the second, third, fourth. I feel like I could do something with that. I like Skylar Bell a little bit, too.
Yeah.
And Wandell is nice, but he's the number 2 there. I don't know. I don't think I need Wandell. I like him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Wandell worth it as the potential number 1. I don't know why you would think he's the number 1. You do know that they drafted Carnell Tate, who doesn't drop a football, right? I don't think it's okay. Either way.
I'd be saving those picks as like sweeteners for bigger deals.
Yeah, either way. You want Wandell because you're hurting at wide receiver. I'm okay with it, but
sure,
I don't.
Right.
I think I'd rather just have the... Yeah, I don't know. Bro, I got Jeremiyah Love in the 4th. Steal alert, bro. It's insane. Nice. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing the show today. But according to others, he's a rookie, so you got to be careful because last year, Harvey only had 12 touchdowns. 12 PPR QB.
You're right. He is bored.
Yeah.
He said my roster's stacked, so he's just tinkering.
Yeah, I think you're both just making up weird trades that make you both worse. That trade makes both of your teams worse. 12-team PPR, QB Stafford, Mahomes, running back JT, Kyron, Corum, Rodriguez, AJB, Pickens, Watson, Evans, Downs, Tucker, Warren. Only start 1 QB. Trade Watson, Kyron, Corum for 1 monster. If this is me. Try and trade one of the quarterbacks to someone's QB week, but 1 QB league, probably not going to find that.
See if the Love owner is panicking because you already have Algier.
Yeah, Kyron Corum, Watson. I like that. Kyron Corum, Watson. Kyron Corum, Evans. I'd do any one of those trades for Jeremiyah Love, to be honest. And I like Kyron and Corum though. Kyron could be very underrated.
Yeah.
Quality. I was about to come right back. You called him. What is it? Well, I was about to go right over to you, bro. You can call back in. I would probably also say a very entertaining concept, but make sure you bring it to us, C-Dub, in case you go screwing things up and just doing any old trade. I trust you though. I think you seem logical. But Warren.
He also said he wants your opinion on his team. Is basically what he wants.
Okay. Warren down to Fannin to see if that can also assist in some huge upgrade. But make sure you're doing the right move. And then overall, I would probably rank this team. I would say like a 7.9999. Because I use the 8 to say that you could win your league without doing a thing. Doesn't mean you're a lock. It just means you're in the mix. There's probably a team that is better than you, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, but like an injury to them, a sleeper of yours that I already like, you have the ability to win your league. I would say 7.99999 because I do think this requires 1 move. And I think that would either be, like I said, the downgrade of Warren to Fannin to upgrade like Kyron Corum to a monster, or you're taking Watson, Kyron Corum to go get the Love and something, try and get something back, or higher if you can. Now, don't trade Kyron and Corum lightly, but in managed leagues, I like them in best ball because you don't have to decide who to start. But in managed leagues, that might drive you crazy. I promise you'll be in here, C-Dub, a couple times, every month, saying, who do I start, Kyron or Corum? And unfortunately, while that's great and lucrative in best ball because you just sit back and let it happen, it is a problematic situation potentially in a managed league, in yearly league. So that would be 7.999. You just need one move. Don't go crazy. Run it by us if it's wild. I don't want you to make things, go backwards or anything. Damn right we give him money. Most spiritual fantasy analyst in the game, opening up his phone line for all. Night after night. Did somebody say something negative, or are you just saying that in general? Damn right.
Yeah, they did. I put it in your message.
Oh,
to check.
All right. I'll look for it. You guys give him. I can't believe you're super chat him. Why aren't you super chatting me? Is that essentially what?
Yeah, but I didn't say super chat me, but basically that tone.
Give this dude money.
And they're always the people who haven't said anything in the chat ever.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. No one has to be here that talks that kind of madness. All right. Let me see if we got one more super chat here. Max. Okay, Max already answered Max's. Let me go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, you are live again. And I'm going to let Travis listen to your question, and I'll answer it as well. Be right back, Travis.
All right. So what do you make of Olave, especially with Tyson out for like the next 2 months, compared to other people in the third round?
I've always been a big Olave guy, and I think sometimes is people taking him in the second and stuff that makes it risky, but and I don't know, maybe it's partially a little biased because I like him so much. There's a hope that he's over the concussions. That's always going to be there, but
always, yeah.
I mean, third round. Who else are you thinking? Who else is going in that range? I'll pull up the ADP while
like Collins. And then, like, at the turn, Neighbors.
I take Neighbors over him only because it's tough though. I take Neighbors over him for sure. Collins, I don't. I take Olave.
Rice there too.
Rice too. That's a good one. I'd be curious what Smitty thinks of that. I almost lean Olave over Rice right now. I believe I saw from the time Shuck took over as quarterback to the end of the year, Olave was wide receiver 3, I think. So, like we always talk about, like Smitty talks about, that top 5 wide receivers in there. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver year in, year out, but he produces like one. And, top 12 wide receiver easy. So, I love him. I think he's good. I think he's pretty safe. And if he's your second wide receiver, you're in great shape.
Would you go Olave over Collins?
I do, yeah. I know some people don't like that. I think those are both kind of
both good.
Yeah, and then they're both really good, and they're both they kind of have their own groups. People worry about Nico, people worry about Olave. I think I take Olave because of the situation too. Granted, Nico has always shown he's quarterback proof, but Kellen Moore's
what was the?
I trust the Saints quarterback a little bit more than.
What
Stroud.
Was the question? I overheard that you're like wondering what I would say about what. What was the question?
I was wondering what you'd say about Olave versus Rice in the third round, and Rockout was asking about how do you feel about Olave compared to different third round players like Nico, Rice,
wide receivers.
Neighbors.
Yeah. I think Olave has the upside to be as good, but the risk is still too heavy to be Like Neighbors and Nico, I could take Neighbors in round 2. I could take Nico at 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, but my rule of thumb would be 3.1. Like third drafted player, top of the third, sure, but Nico's 3.1 rule of thumb. Olave's probably pretty close to Nico more than he's close to Neighbors. Even though Neighbors is close,
could be. I like Olave over Nico.
Yeah,
but
I think I'm okay anywhere in the middle of round 3, but not in every league though. It'd have to be kind of a rarity. Because I just.
What about Rice right now?
How about Rice?
Man, I mean, it really does put your Rice to the test. I guess I would probably say 50-50, maybe slight lean for Olave. If I had to go like 6 to 4, 6 drafts to 4.
Seems right.
And that might change really quickly. Given we have not seen Rice look back to his elite self yet, there's reason to we could keep ignoring it.
Yeah, it could change. It could change overnight for sure.
It'd be like if what's his name, Neighbors, didn't look as good as he if he came out right now and he looked really sluggish and slow, we'd have to be like, okay, we still like him, but we got to back off this a little bit. But he looks 100%, and he went through a lot worse extensive offseason than Rice. And Rice looks like he's just getting on the treadmill for the first time, and he just looks slow. And I don't think I'm avoiding Rice at all, but I'm certainly not reaching for him. And I think Olave has a lot of risk as well, but there's nothing immediate in front of us right now. It's just kind of like you're worried about it. We're not seeing Olave, have any sort of struggles. He did. It looked like he got hurt in practice yesterday, but he just got the wind knocked out of him. So I would say it would go Neighbors, tier break, Nico, Olave, Rice, with no tier break in between those 3, but in that order. Which could change. Could change. Rice could go straight above Nico if we see a practice tomorrow where he looks electric and elite and quick, but we haven't seen it yet.
I agree with that.
What do we wait?
And I think it was I saw from the time I was saying to Rocco, from the time Shuck took over to the end of the year, Olave was wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
So he puts up numbers with him.
Yeah.
I trust him. I trust him more than Stroud. I'll say that.
Yeah. All right, boys. What else you got real quickly? Let me see. Oh, I got a Cry. He found a way to super chat over on Rumble. Thank you, Cry. Appreciate you, bro. 12-man, 0.5 PPR, Lamar, Swift, Dobbins, Chase, AJB, Fannin, Neighbors, Burden. Starting lineup is Coleman. Our starting lineup, then bench is Coleman, QJ. Didn't want to punt running back, just the way the draft went. Best player available, thoughts. Okay, I love Lamar. I love Jamar Chase. I love AJB. I like Fannin. I love Neighbors. But I'm probably trying to move Swift and Burden, Swift and Dobbins. But Swift and Burden's probably your best bet. You do need to get into something different. Harvey could be a Jonah Coleman Harvey running back 2 for you. If you could find a way, see what the Harvey owner has and see if this makes sense to do a 2 for 2. But Burden and Swift for 1 player. And you might find somebody that just loves the Bears is let's do it. But Jeremiah Love.
Did you see Burden's back at practice?
Yeah.
Which is nice.
How full go? I think he's just out there slightly practicing though.
So individual drills. I mean, he was running route, catching passes, and he looked all right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely keep an eye on it to see how it ramps up.
A bit different than hard cutting and floating. So we'll have to see, because usually that groin injury, if you have a groin injury, just so people know, you end up having a situation where you're not going to pull that groin muscle or that hamstring or that quad or whatever the tear is, the soft tissue, until you fire off for the first time. Like I'm talking like unexpected kind of launching. And example, like when I tore my calf, I'd run and nothing would happen. It would be when like a car would be coming and I'd like kind of like jolt and kind of plant off my right leg because I tore my right calf, and I'd just pull it again. You know, or the sidewalk would go like this and dip down on the right side. I'd be running, and then all of a sudden I'd feel my calf twinge again. I'm like, damn it. But I could run. I could even, in some cases, like get to a sprint. But it's the explosion that happens. So you can't really, when you're ramping back and you're trying to get, like, there's a reason he's doing individual drills, because they don't want him out there doing it. So you have a risk of injury for about 6 weeks. So he could go out there and just explode off of one cut. Boom, he's done for 6 to 8 weeks. So just know that just because Burden's back, he is not at a zero risk level whatsoever. He is a very high risk of re-injury for the next 6 weeks, unfortunately. And that goes with really anybody that has like an injury that's been as scary as that. It's not like, okay, well, what about Mike Evans's quad? It depends. And in that case, I'm not worried about it, because we saw Burden he was like unable to walk. Like that's the kind of injury we're talking about, where he hurt himself and he was barely limping off the field because he tore his groin muscle. Like having a little bit of a tweak is different. You know, or if you say, well, what about Walker? It's not the same thing at all. So, Cry, make that move. I think Swift and Burden for one player, Love or higher running back would be the best move for you. You could also go for like a Hall and something and do a 2 for 2. You could also go for a Tuten and wide receiver upgrade over, because you got to think that like Swift and Tuten have similar values. Some would even draft Swift over Tuten. So you get maybe a complete fair even swap there, and then you're giving them Burden for what? I don't know. Just do something that makes you feel like you're definitely grabbing players you like. The only other thing I would say is, like, could you downgrade AJB to Neighbors or to Pickens and get something out of that? Depends how valuable AJB is in that league. He may or may not be highly ranked. It's hard to say. Every league's a little different. AJB sometimes goes, in the late second round, or he could go at the top. So it just kind of depends. But great questions, man. I like your team, and I think you just need one move though. But you do probably need one move. Thank you, Cry. Appreciate you. All right. Anything else, boys? I'll be back at midnight Eastern. Nothing. All right. Rock out.
I got one thing. If Rock out doesn't,
I'll
wait and see if Rock out.
All right, go ahead, Travis, and then we'll be out of here.
Someone was asking in Dynasty, would you trade JJ for Tate and Tyson, or are you looking to get a little more for him?
More. I like Tate and Tyson, but they've
get a little more right now.
I like Tate and Tyson, but they've kind of taken a hit lately. I'm not saying that it'll hold true. I'm not saying Tyson won't regain the ground that he had. I'm not saying that that Tyson won't regain the ground that he's earned, but I do feel like their value is definitely taking a hit. So JJ's been going up. So I'm trying to get in something different. I like Tate and Tyson, but I'm trying to get in something different. I'm trying to go get like a Pickens, or trying to go get a Neighbors, or trying to go get an Igbuka with something. I'm trying to do things like that.
Yep. All right.
Thanks,
Smitty.
Thanks, you guys. Rock out. See you tonight.
Bye.
All right, later, bro.
Yep.
All right, we are out of here. Appreciate everyone dropping super chats, calling into the phone line. Cry, thank you for that super chat. Thank you to my Rumblers. Thank you, Park, for the super chat. Simi Valley with the super chat. Hammer with the $50. 420 with the 420 man with the 20. Lamb Man with the 20. And then BBQ with the 50 gifted memberships over on the Rumble, or on the
I
YouTube.
smell meatloaf.
Thank you very much for that, my boy. And thank you all for everything that you dropped today, and the support and the phone calls and the likes. Please hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. We have 2 more thumbs up to get to 200 likes on the video. We'll be back at midnight Eastern, maybe a little bit after. I'll see you all. Appreciate you all. And we'll continue on. Any $20 haulers tonight will be on the Love or the Tuten video. Just specify in your $20 super chat tonight which video you want. You will get on your choice of one tonight if you drop the $20 super chat.
You're listening to AZ4 Radio. This one's number 4 on the charts. It's called Love, AZ4 Radio.
Love Shack! Baby, Love Shack!
Once, twice, 3 times a cardinal. I love you.
Scotty says Keenan Allen gonna be a nice flex play this year. No. But thank you. Is it possible? I suppose. Am I on that train? No, I am not. You can have it all to yourself, Scotty. I don't have time to board those kinds of trains. Where we're going, we don't need roads, Scotty.